Welcome back, Collider Live. Thursday. Oh my God, what's happening? What alternate universe is this that Collider Live is on a Thursday? It's not Jedi Council. That's later on today. It's no longer live, but we are Collider Live. And joining me today, back on the mic, Josh McCouga.
What's
Hello.
up, man? Hello.
How are you?
I am what the ladies and doctors call hungover.
Oh, are you? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Hold on a second.
Oh, man.
And joining us as co-host today, Dorina, you're back. How are
I'm
you?
back.
It's nice to have you.
I don't know why, but I'm back.
I know, it's true. This might be the last time, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, no,
They're
but
nice, Dorina.
I know.
No, you're not.
What's up?
it's my last day.
It's the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's going to say, look, I thought about it and I'm out.
I thought about it just these last few seconds. I'm
Right.
like, you know what? Big mistake. No, I'm kidding.
That
No,
is
I'm
good.
very, very happy to be here.
Yeah, you'll be here today and tomorrow,
Yes.
right? Yeah, today and
Yes,
tomorrow. Roxy will be back on Monday. And, well, what are you laughing at now?
Just laughing. I was like, Dorina leaves. I was like, I'll go get the Hitler waitress up at the restaurant.
Did Roxy tell you the
She
story?
still has not told me this freaking story.
Oh, I got to tell you the story.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off air. Or you just go back and listen to the show.
Yeah.
And joining us today as producer of the show, because
See.
we'll talk about Mark Riley and our good buddy Cal in just a minute. But Mr. Roca, John Roca, how you doing?
Sí, estoy bien. Mucho gusto. Bienvenidos, Collider en vivo. Estamos aquí con Dorina y John. Estamos aquí con
Buenos
Christian
días.
y Josh
He's
McCouga.
just
Buenos
making up
días.
words.
Yeah,
El
he's
gordo y
making
la
up
flaca. El
Is he
gordo y
really?
la flaca.
Is he really saying stuff?
Yes.
Because is that real or is it like?
What do you mean it's real? It's like fake Spanish? What do you
Because
mean?
everyone always breaks Roca's balls. A lot of how often do you get? We'll have a full panel and be like, hey, why do you have all white guys on there? Like Roca's not white.
Yeah, I have to constantly
All
tell
the
people
time.
I'm not white.
Right.
You're
so
Bolivian,
it's-
right?
Yeah, my parents are both Bolivian. I'm first
Yeah.
generation American. I speak fluent. And I work on my spoonsmanship.
You do. But that sounds like legit. He passes. It's like legit.
Yeah, I mean, I understood what he was saying.
Right.
Claro.
But
And you didn't sound white.
right.
I
That's
don't
what I
have
meant.
that.
That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I mean,
'cause
like
you don't want me to try that. That's
I mean,
a
it's
disaster.
not your first language.
No,
Right,
it is.
right.
But I learned them both at the same time, obviously,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
my parents are from Bolivia, so they were
Right.
speaking Spanish and English at the same time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you don't practice it enough,
You forget
then
it.
you
do
start to
forget.
sound
You
white.
start to sound
Yeah.
a little bit. You don't
Yeah.
go gracias, but
Well, that's
you
what I
know.
was saying. I always talked about this. I don't know if you remember back in the day. It was like you can say the whatever the most simple words in Spanish and it sounds sexy.
Yeah.
Like the whitest words sound sexy. Like it used to be like there's a commercial that used to come on all the time and it was arroz con pollo, café con leche. It sounds
Yeah, good.
but as white guy says it, all it is
Can that be a
coffee
soundbite?
with milk, chicken with rice.
Yes.
It sounds awful. But
I took German all the way through high school and college, right? So, and I lived in Germany for a minute, and I could speak the language very well, right?
Say something.
I mean, ich liebe dich,
bless you.
which is I love you, right? That's like
Nice.
Oh,
so.
that's a nice thing
Yo
to
te
say.
amo también.
Oh, she loves you too.
Va bene, allora.
Arroz con pollo.
He's switching to arroz con pollo, café con leche,
The German language is
chicken with rice,
chicken with
coffee with milk. It's not sexy.
My favorite though is when white people try. They're like,
All white
yes,
people?
Well, most white people.
Oh.
Like when I bartended, a white guy would come and he's like, "Yes, my wife will have martini and I will have a mojito." And I'm like,
Right, right.
Yes.
Right.
you know.
De Nicaragua, por favor. Yeah.
Right.
But in German, it's not a romance language, so most of the words are hard sounding and it's not very sexy. But, I mean,
What did he say? I love you, darling. I want you to go to sleep.
Are you just saying 9?
just saying no. Stop yelling.
That's
My
very good.
God.
That's very good.
So it is. You don't know what to say, but that
9 is just no.
I feel so-
You're saying no.
well, at the beginning of it,
Yeah.
it's like the Statham thing. You
Yeah.
say a whole bunch of jumbled words, and at the very end of the Statham, you say, "You know what I mean," and it sounds like you're actually doing Statham.
I feel so bad for our German viewers.
I know. They're like,
So
he
embarrassing.
said nothing. He said absolutely.
That was what was the huge comedian Sid Caesar that could do that?
Oh, I don't know.
That would do like the fake German all throughout,
Oh,
and he
yeah,
would
probably.
be able to do it. And I forget. I mean, some of that old TV that my dad would make me watch, where they were doing like the fake German. But German is a hard language. So the word butterfly in Italian is
It is.
farfalle, right? Beautiful.
Sounds like a
Which
nice,
is way
tasty
easier
dinner.
to say.
Which
At
is
least for
way
me,
easier to say.
Italian's way
Yeah.
easier, but
Oh,
German
yeah.
is so
German,
hard.
the
It's
word
like
for
this.
butterfly is Schmetterling.
Schmetterling.
It's a
It
horror
just
word.
looks like you're spitting in the on the mic.
Correct.
Right.
The German people are an amazing people. It's a lovely
Schadens.
country. It's fantastic. But
my peeps.
it's a hard language.
It
Yeah,
is.
I don't know a lick of it.
But then I go to Italy and I say the word in the Italian accent, so they think I'm Italian. So
You are Italian.
I am, but not like
Not
that
real
Italian.
What, do you
Yeah.
start speaking like Mario from Nintendo?
Well, that's what the accent. That is the accent. That's what Mario is. Fucking the accent.
Yeah.
Actually, when you know at the beginning when I think it's Mario Kart where like he's like let's go. I always think he's saying Mexico.
And you go, yeah!
Mexico. I'm like yeah, ready for Mario Kart.
Vamos.
Mexico.
That's
So
funny.
happy.
You tell me.
That's funny. So it's good. It's good to have. This is a nice little crew. I'm digging it. A lot of things that I want to talk about today. The first thing, like I said, the reason Roca is producing the show today. Marc Riley was supposed to be here, and he could not. He tweeted out earlier today. I retweeted it. Cal. If you guys have been following Schmoes for a long time, you following anything that we've done, Schmodown. Cal is Mark's buddy, his pal, his
Super
dog,
sweet.
My
sweetest
pal.
dog
Dog.
ever. Yeah, and he's just not doing good right now. It's a problem with dogs, man. It's God's
Sure.
trick.
Yeah.
It's like the dog's like he's a lab. He's like 12 years old.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
That's the problem. When I had a pug, they have a short lifespan, like 11 years, right?
Well, they can't breathe.
That's right. They're like genetic messes. Them and bulldogs. It's just what they are. But the problem with dogs is like they're good on Tuesday, but with one day, it just what's happening. So I'm hoping Cal's okay. He's just maybe he's got some. Dog eats everything, so maybe he ate something bad.
He does eat everything.
But Riley's very attached to Cal.
Yeah.
So send your love to Riley. Tweet on out to him and let him know we're thinking about him. He's the best.
But the thing is, too, you said God's trick is if I could get a dog, and I want a dog so bad. I love dogs. I freak out when I see dogs. I'm like Will Ferrell and Elf. Like, saw a dog today. Did you see a dog?
yeah.
You know? And Amanda's always kind of like, all right, calm down. If I see a Shih Tzu, because that's what I grew up with.
Oh, you're a
little
big Shih Tzu
Tzus, right?
guy.
Love 'em.
Really?
Well, because I'm allergic to dogs, mostly. Like,
What are you not
What are you
allergic
allergic
to?
to?
He's
a
allergic
lot
to
of
everything.
things. Yeah, nuts and seeds and wheats and
Well, I know
grains
nuts because
and-
of that Comic-Con party.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah. She was.
Doreen was like, Josh is doing so well. I'm like,
It happened to him again at Wood Ranch
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago.
oh yeah, that's right. They put almonds
Why
in
do
my
you
salad.
keep doing that?
No, it
I'd
wasn't his
say
fault.
no almonds.
Oh.
And then they put almonds in the salad.
He's friends with the waitress apparently.
Yeah. The Hitler waitress is like, I'm going to put nuts in this.
Right.
And some in this
I'm gonna
salad.
put the nuts in the salad. Makuga will eat the nuts.
I will have my destiny.
Make fun of me on live again, Makuga.
Pistachios? 9!
Arroz con pollo.
Chicken with rice. But anyway, just stay away from
I didn't
the
know
nuts.
you could shake your. I didn't know you could do that.
That's
Yeah,
his
man.
only dance move. Christian's
That's not true,
much-
actually. That's not true.
Are you a
man.
dancer?
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I used,
really?
very much
Shut
so.
up.
When I was younger,
Interesting.
hell yeah.
Where's
That's all
video?
the- Video? I mean,
Oh,
shit,
can you
man,
just
that's
do it
room
now?
5.
Like, can you dance for us?
No, and I'm not.
Dance
when,
monkey.
when I
He's not
need,
Van
when I
Damme.
needed to, when
Okay.
it was one of my tools,
Yeah.
I used it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't need it
Okay,
now.
so we'll have to have a party or something, so
What's that?
you can use your
Take
tools.
it easy over there,
Yeah.
Van Damme.
I'm telling you, that's true. Come on, Cody.
Speaking of, I'm so jealous.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It's only-
I said, yeah. You want a glass of milk? I said, yeah.
Did you hear the whole interview?
Yeah, most of it, yes.
He's the
yeah.
best.
It's
the best.
honestly like I love you guys, but I don't have time to watch all of them.
No, I
I
understand.
immediately I was
No,
like,
of
oh,
course.
I'm watching the Van
No,
Damme
that's the whole- yeah, of
interview.
course, of
Yeah, like
course.
Kickboxer is one of my favorite
Oh,
movies.
Kickboxer's
You
great.
want cookies? I
Want
said
some
yeah.
cookies?
Everything up,
Said
to,
yes.
everything up to the quest. Everything up to the quest is classic.
Yeah. He
After
directed-
the quest,
he
it starts
directed
getting
the
even.
quest.
Yeah.
Cyborg's weird.
I like
well,
Cyborg.
sure, Cyborg, but
JCVD
it's still
though,
fun.
is-
JCVD is
Well, no,
incredible.
that's the
He didn't-
resurgence. That's
yeah.
the resurgence.
Amazing.
He's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. He's
You're talking
talking
about like old
Yeah,
movies.
the old movies.
That's
Yeah.
when he started to go downhill.
Yeah.
No, but he was a god in Mexico. Like him and
Chuck
and
Norris?
He was sort of
Okay.
big, but it was
Seagal.
mostly Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Because boxing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
But
best.
Van Damme was a hero.
The Van Damme-assance, as you will
That's
after.
good, I like that.
The funny thing is that the entire audience of Collider Live is split. They either think it was an amazing interview
Or a train
or
wreck.
a total train.
But nobody thought it was boring.
Correct.
No one
So
thought
that
it was boring.
just
But everyone was
40
paying
minutes.
attention to what he
Everybody.
was saying.
Locked in.
right?
Yeah. Well, we tried to.
Because you didn't know what he was about
Some.
to say. It was super. It was exciting. I was like nervous. I was like,
Every
"Ooh,
time
what is
he
talking
switched
about?"
subjects, I was like, "Who here we go? What's this gonna be?"
Well, that was the whole thing. Is that someone,
It was great.
someone said, the thing that I think that we all did very well is we just listened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to start cutting them off and start asking questions. Well, I know that it is, but tell me about Guile. When you were playing, don't worry about the really cool story you're talking about with the AI. Right. Well, that was one little line that you tried
You
to
should
get
have
in
asked
there.
him about Raul
Jam right
Julia.
in there.
I tried to get him. We didn't try to get him to do shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing.
we knew. Like, my favorite is he's in the middle of something and someone would ask him a question, then he'd go, no, and he'd go right into it. But
He
anyway,
did not like Roxy and I saying, "Don't trust the robots."
no,
was
he
like,
didn't listen. You must
Don't
trust
offend the robots.
You want some cookies?
Some robot cookies.
Give the
Yeah.
robots cookies.
Yes,
All right,
it's the
so
best.
so you can check that interview out if you want to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Check it out. If you're not already subscribed to Apple Podcasts, the Collider Live feed, please do that because that helps. Yeah, it helps.
It does.
Yeah, it does. So, and speaking of which, Cody Hall, you son of a bitch.
What's up?
What's up? You know what you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you lie to me. See, you
What
don't,
did
you,
he
don't,
do?
you don't have Alex today, do you?
No, I'm
You're all by
myself.
yourself.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. I wrote, and I think I said, "This my child is why I love you." He had tweeted him out yesterday because Cody Hall, even though he's bored out of his skull in that booth in there, hitting his buttons and doing what he's got to do
Are
by
you
himself.
bored, Cody? Makes sense.
It is.
What is that, by the way?
It's garbage. It's garbage.
You garbage? You want to call garbage, boy?
So Cody is in there.
listen, Jack.
I'm trying to listen. Let me finish what I was saying here. So Cody yesterday, we asked because the headphones. We were trying so hard for those headphones. Brett was sitting in the back just screaming all by himself. We didn't have headphones, so I said to Cody, "Do we know where the headphones is?" And Cody, because we can only hear Cody, he says, "We don't have it." He's like, "I'll look." So meanwhile, what are they doing the whole time? There's 6 freaking headphones they have in there. Cody's got them all on his head, and it was a very funny moment. It was good, and everyone was talking about it yesterday. So congratulations, Cody. It was a good bit.
Thank you.
You're good. It was a good bit. But and then he sets up the headphones today, and nobody's back there. So
They're ready. They're ready for you guys.
they're ready.
Cody,
Thank you.
can you get a single on the lonely set of headphones on that
Give me a
chair?
second.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Just put like sad music to it or something.
Can't he just come in here and join us?
No, who's gonna engineer
I know,
this
it's
show?
fine.
Oh, all right.
Just leave it on a
just
wide
let
show.
Yeah, it's just like a train like going off the tracks.
It's just fine.
Perfect. All right, so there's that. No, I was wondering.
People are afraid for Cody in the chat. People are very afraid.
No, they shouldn't be afraid. I love Cody.
The other day, I'm walking. The funny thing is that hallway where the bathrooms are in this office, right? It's always awkward, and somebody comes out of the bathroom because there are a lot of people usually waiting, like, "Hey, what's up?" And Cody comes out of the bathroom, and he's such a slender man, right? And he comes out, and it's dark back there, and he just kind of like waves his hand, and you kind of just look like a Gumby back there.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like,
Right. All right. I was gonna go. I'll go into this afterwards, but I do want to bring up something that happened to me today. It's actually pretty funny. I've talked about the neighbors in my area before. There was the guy across the street. There's these certain wars that I've had. Well, obviously the squirrels are the big war.
What
It's
are
a-
all these squirrels? I don't
it's
have
a
any squirrels
war
where I live, and we live super close
that
to
we
each other.
continue
There's
to
squirrels
fight.
everywhere. There's squirrels everywhere.
weird.
But they now have found a way.
Robots?
Yeah, and squirrels. I know.
My 2 worst enemies in this world.
The squirrels have now been finding a way to maneuver around where they're still stealing shit and doing stuff, but they're tricky now, and they know to avoid me, and they've been doing it.
You remember when Van Damme punched that snake in Hard Target?
To be a squirrel, I know.
Well,
I
that's
wouldn't-
great
I'm-
because snakes suck. So that's.
I'll
I'm
tell.
okay with
Don't.
that.
Yeah, I'm trying. Don't tell Fernandez that. He'd be very
I
upset.
know his
Just catching
Instagram
snakes.
feed
Yeah,
is
him and
the
Frank.
worst.
Frank too.
Why?
Frank
They
loves
catch-
snakes.
they
I
love
keep
snakes.
telling them, I'm like, I'm going to follow you guys.
They're gonna get
'cause
bitten.
The worst.
But anyway, so there was a guy across the street that would pace back and forth and scream on his Bluetooth, right? And he just kept doing it every weekend. And I'm like, I gotta say something. Because it was like it would be at nighttime. It's during the day.
While
He
you're
just-
inside your home, you can hear them.
Loud.
Wow.
Loud. Like he would be across the street just pacing back and forth. As
Oh, that would be
you
so
know, hey,
annoying.
John, the deal's going through. It's going through. But look, I just don't know. I don't know what Denise is going to say. No. Put it down. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, come on.
Does he say bro a lot?
And I don't know if it's bro, but he said, so I'm like, I gotta say something.
bro
Because
guy.
there was one time my daughter was sleeping, and I was like, this fucking guy is gonna wake her up. Like, I gotta say something. So I'm like, here we go. I'm ready for the confrontation. I'm like, what are you gonna do, man? I'm taking a phone call. And I walk over to the guy. I go, hey man, the phone. He goes, oh yeah, didn't realize it. Hasn't been back since.
Wow.
Realized it, never came back. So
You were nice about it.
But he
and-
was nice about it.
Oh, there you go.
I was prepared. I was prepared for like a confrontation.
To take your
You were-
tools out
you-
and do a little dance.
I was like, come on, baby.
You were prepared for Queens, and you got Westwood.
I switched into Queens mode, ready to go. So there was that. There's been neighbors who have been this noisy to the side, like coming at 2 a.m, loud as hell, coming through. You walk over nicely, say, hey, can you close the window? I can hear you. They do it. It's been nice. Now I live in a complex too, and I've talked about the medical students. Right, the medical students live with me, and they're all really good people. I like them very much.
It's Grey's Anatomy. You're living in Grey's Anatomy.
It really is, and it's great because the medical students most times they just go to bed at like 8 o'clock because they got to wake up at God knows what time.
Right.
Well, yeah, gross.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tougher. And there's like 5 or 6 of them over there, right? And it's tough. It is Grey's Anatomy. There's no joke. And there's one guy. He's like the leader who he's the leader.
He's your Meredith Grey.
He's been the guy that yes, he is, and he's been the guy there that I've been friends with for a bit. Like there's negotiations that happen. It's stupid because there's one complex. We have kids, so we got to like do the laundry from like 10 to 5. Then they got to come in. It's a stupid thing, right? But good compromise. So and it's been pleasant. And remember when we had our sponsor, when we had Blue Apron back in Schmoes? Uh-huh. I was getting the Blue Apron stuff. Then I just started paying for it. But I would get all this meat, and I would just give them to them because like I wouldn't use some of this stuff. There's one guy that has now moved there. He looks like Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
Right,
Ooh,
and
that's awesome.
He's got like a Willem Dafoe thing, and he's a nice guy. He smiles, he waves, all this stuff
Is he
too.
a young Defoe?
He's
Or are we
in the
talking
30s.
Okay,
30s,
so
right?
like
And
Boondock Saints Defoe.
But he's you know what it is? He's the chef over there. He does the grilling. So right away I'm like, okay, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Right. So and then I was giving him all the Blue Apron stuff. Yeah. All right. You know.
kinship,
Okay, we're
little
good.
kinship.
See what he's gonna do.
Oh, what do you do with your chicken?
But and then
like his meat.
Yeah. But he's the guy. Remember when I told the story about they had the party and then I found the guys pissing on the mailbox and I chased him off. He was the guy. I'm so sorry. Turns out I'm not a big fan of Willem Dafoe.
Oh no.
He's the guy. He does like this passive aggressive thing where the leader will come up to you and go, "Hey, look," because we left these boxes. We left all these boxes because my daughter will do a nosedive right off the side. So we leave the boxes lined up. We forgot they were there, and it's a pain in the ass for the neighbors. They got to move out of the way and they got to do this stuff. So he's like, "Hey, can you move it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm always talking to the leader. Right. But Willem Dafoe does the thing. He complains to everybody. But doesn't. And when I see him, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Oh, you're nice to me now. But you complain. I know he's complaining because the leader's telling me that Willem Dafoe's complaining.
Wow.
So then this is the best thing this morning. Because I told the leader. I said I'm talking about this on the air. I said because. Last week, we had the day off. It was Martin Luther King Day, and we had the trash, the stupid trash can dilemma, that.
Yes.
So it was a late night all last week. Just the 1 week I don't take my cans up. So I leave the cans, but it's communal. We just happen to have our apartment numbers on the thing.
Right.
So I don't bring them up. And I put my garbage in the communal things. That just happens to have their number on it. So Willem Dafoe did not like that. Willem Dafoe did not like that I didn't bring up my cans and happened to put some stuff in his. So Willem Dafoe this morning hid his garbage cans behind the gate. I walked out and I go, Willem Dafoe hid the garbage can. And I start cracking up. I'm like, so I had to bring my garbage cans up anyway, but I look at him like, so I wrote to the leader.
Where were they?
They have like a gate in the back, so they hid it. And these guys leave the laundry room all the time. Dirt gets in there. Like they do crap all the time.
Are you
but
sure
we
it
don't say
wasn't the
anything.
squirrels?
It might have been. The squirrels pushed through and then blamed it on Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
That's a good move. But Willem Dafoe is like really passive aggressive. He makes like there was when it was Christmas time.
And
you have
that's
all
so
the,
un-Willem Dafoe.
I know.
Mike.
You have all the Christmas trash that you put in and it piles up. You know what happens?
Wrapping paper.
And then the garbage was coming that day, and he's like, "Well, they," and he tells the leader. He doesn't tell me. They put up all the Christmas wrapping, and it's piling up. I don't think the garbage guys are gonna get it. I don't think they're gonna pick up the cans. They're garbage people. They're gonna take them and they're gonna pick up the garbage. And they're gonna put it in the trash because that's what they do. They have to pick up the trash. Willem Dafoe, go back to Spider-Man 2, dick.
I don't think
he should have been in
taking
Spider-Man
the
2.
trash.
He wasn't in
No,
Spider-Man
he was in
2.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah,
He should have been in Spider-Man 2.
Well, it wasn't 2 in a vision, but yes, it was in one.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
So Willem
Nerd.
Dafoe, and I like the guy, but he gives me that fake smile all the time. And I'm like, you're full of shit, buddy.
Hey,
It's that.
I'm gonna
How
fuck-
are you?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck your day out.
How are you? It's nice. It's fake.
Yeah, it's
fake.
fake.
The leader,
Yeah.
like there was another guy that used to be there years ago, and he was a dick. But I knew he was a dick.
Right, you could deal with that
He's
because
just
it was up front.
Hey, would you do? No. Would you close the gate? No.
Yeah, you get
Why?
it.
Because I'm a dick.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right, you're a dick. So I knew it. But Willem Dafoe, smiling, I'm a nice guy. Are you really? I
So
don't
you
think
keep
so.
saying that. Now I think that Willem Dafoe lives next to you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So anyway, that's what I call him, Willem Dafoe.
Amanda always says, he's like, when you don't like somebody, they know it. Right? To me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very, very nice person. But there's this guy that I don't like.
Unless somebody has a neck tattoo.
Yeah, they're out. I forgot to tell that story. Some guy came to the Arizona show and he put a fake neck tattoo on just for me.
That's
and
good.
took a picture.
That's
It
good.
was great.
But no, it's like, look, when you're
The
living
fake
with
handshake, the fake
yes,
like.
yeah. But when you're living with in that complex, it's
I
tough
hate
because
that.
which is it's tough because everybody has like there's things. I have 2 kids. I'm like, there's stuff that we forget about sometimes. There's other things that they forget about, and it happens. And that's why the communication with the leader has been great.
Who's the leader? Is
Mary
the-
Gray.
He's just the guy that's been there the longest.
Okay.
Right?
It's
He's-
mix
I'm like-
something, right?
He-
McDreamy, McSteamy, mix something. You got to
Well,
come up with a name for
McDreamy
it. Mix
is
something.
McDreamy is
McSquirrely?
Patrick Dempsey.
McSquirrely.
McSquirrely.
Yeah, was it a squirrel?
McTrashy.
Yeah, but I like him. I like the leader because he's one of these guys that will just say like, "Hey, there's this issue. Let's talk about it." And I'm going, "All right, then let's talk about it." Like today, I talked to him. I told him, I said I'm going to talk about this in here. He's like, tell both sides of the story. I'm like, I will, but I said I'm laying into Willem Dafoe.
Right.
And I never referred to the guy once by his real name because I never will ever again. He's Willem Dafoe for the rest of his life.
You've got like 6 medical students with the stethoscopes walking down the streets, and then you got Christian holding his baby, his daughter
it
here,
is.
and Sadie with like a revolver, just Italian style. Like, this is gonna go down.
It's so silly. It's just it's things that happen inside. And he was funny. He's like he goes the leader says this morning. He's like look. He goes, Game of Thrones is coming back in April. I don't want it to come back now. That's great line. It's a great line. But I was just like, I just don't want to see Willem Dafoe smiling at me because he did it the other day. He smiled at me. I was like, hey, and I'm like, get away from me. I didn't say it, but I'm just like, I just ignored him.
Isn't it an East Coast thing? Like we can't handle people that are passive aggressive. Like,
Right.
like either hate me
It's-
or like
it's
don't
fake.
don't sit in that
It's
middle
fake.
fake
But do
place.
you-
It drives
Yeah.
me
But do you
nuts.
guys feel like if you don't like somebody and then you don't really know them, but you feel like you could just never like them though if they actually start being nice to you?
Yeah, but it's
because
just look.
There's always going to be something in the back of my head, like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the explanation
because
was.
you got to be open to maybe maybe they were having a crappy month.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what
You
I said
don't
to them.
know
I said,
them.
you don't know what's. I mean, the fact these people don't have kids, and I wouldn't expect them to understand a lot of the stuff that we have to go through. It's like it is grueling at that place in Tester where we just gotta it's like the laundry, the putting the kid to sleep, a baby who doesn't sleep. It's
and there's
grueling.
just 2 units in that.
Just
thing.
2 units,
Yeah.
but it's not. But it's fairly peaceful. It's really peaceful. But again, it's just one of those things. But it was nice to vent that out.
Well, I'm very happy for you. Now.
Legitimately,
Thank you
the
so
garbage
I'm
situation.
not as happy because you didn't dance, but
No, don't worry.
Give me
Sometimes.
one of these trash dances.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
do a garbage dance
Little
every time you
soldier
see
boy.
him.
I know it's true. I know. So it was really funny that he hid the garbage cans. It's so how
That's actually
stupid
pretty
is that?
funny because it's really dumb and
It's
it's
so
not
dumb.
actually something
I'll
that's
get him.
super mean. It's just dumb
just
and
dumb.
it's like an 8-year-old.
Right.
did it,
It's just like
No, now you can't use it.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, guy, it's for the entire complex. It just happens to have your address on it because I did. Well, you should have brought up your cans. Then say that. To tell me, hey, do you think you can bring up the cans because it's tough? It's getting piled up. Because
everybody.
I said, if I ever see Willem Dafoe sticking his hand in my garbage can, I'm gonna have the squirrels gnaw it off.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, guess what I did? I hid the cans.
He's got the Green Goblin outfit on. Oh man,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, anyway, so now I'm going to find an eviction notice for some reason. He's probably going to complain to the neighbor, the apartment complex. Who cares? All right, let's move on. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was yesterday, because I saw a lot of tweets about it, and there was no reason for me to tweet about it because I can talk about it. In 2007. I started doing movie reviews on Current TV. I was asked by a friend of mine to do
Is
it.
that the Al Gore Network?
It was.
That's what
It was.
We did a sketch or something for them back in the day.
Well,
Casual Mafia did.
Yes.
yeah.
So I had a friend over there, was a producer, and she had done stand-up comedy with me, and she said, "Hey, this is before anybody was doing reviews or anything too." And she's like, "We thought about doing something where it's user reviews, and you guys can watch a bunch of pilots, and we'll pay in pizza and beer." And she's like, so I was like,
Sounds
cool.
pretty
I
great.
said, I'm good. So she's like, can you find somebody? I was like, yeah. So I just shot my pilot, The Grasping at Straws, and when I was there, and I was starting to go to the Comedy Store a lot, I was hanging out with Marc Ellis. So I said to Marc, I'm like, dude, let's do this. And we did, and we just from there in 2007, August 2007, all the way up until like about a year. We were doing reviews, and we'd start doing them together. Realized the chemistry was pretty good, and after the current TV thing went away, we said let's start doing something on YouTube. So Schmoes Know was born.
How did you come up with the name, by the way?
So the same producer who was producing over at Current TV had said to me, well, you guys should, if you're going to take it over to YouTube, you should approach it in that way of the everyday guy. So why don't you call it like the Joe Schmoes? And I was like, I don't know about that, but I like that. Like
Not
just
one
the
of
average
these names Joe either.
I like the average schmo.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, the schmoes that do this, schmoes reviews, schmoes do the schmoes know movies. And I was like, schmoes know. Just because we can talk about anything. So her and I came up with Schmoes Know, and Ellis hated it. And so Mark and I just started doing our reviews on Schmoes Know, and it just became this like perfect partnership to this day. I mean, just he balances me out, he calms me down. There's
YouTube Siskel and Ebert, basically.
Yeah, but it's just so much more than that. It's like everything besides just the Siskel and Ebert stuff. It's like the stuff that we've done with the Schmoedown. Is that we know how to work with each other very well. So in 2014, I became a regular on AMC Movie Talk, and at the time, there wasn't a need to have both the Schmoes on Movie Talk. So I was doing that, and at first there was even concern with me being on Movie Talk because was I concerned enough with AMC?
Well, it wasn't that, dude. It was Willem Dafoe knew about the cans.
And he made some calls.
Told
He made some
AMC.
calls. Yeah, he went back in time. I know it's true.
I don't know if you want this guy.
And it's true.
He puts his trash in my cans.
Right.
And that's not welcome.
And on Christmas, he let the box open the lid. 9!
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Not a big fan.
You like 8 better?
Yes.
The only person that
I
likes
love 8.
that yelling 9 is the waitress across the street.
Yeah, you know what? People have been writing to me in the 8 joke in Spanish.
Oh,
they're
really?
like,
Ocho.
¿Cuántos?
Ocho.
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 Yeah, ocho. Yeah.
What is eighth?
8th or 8th?
Eighth.
Eighth.
So it's like the 8th.
Oh, octavo.
Octavo.
Look at Roku.
Of course. What?
You get the point first. All right.
In the Spanish off.
But
Sorry,
anyway, and
go ahead.
sorry. So like I said, there was a concern that would I be focused more on schmoes or could I focus in on movie talk? I believe that I proved that I could. And then with that, I was like, we got to get Ellis here. And about 7-8 months later, Ellis joined Movie Talk and joined AMC at the time as well. And like he does everywhere he goes, he fits in. He's a constant professional. He is one of the funniest individuals that I know. He gets it done, no matter if he's in a good mood, if he's in a bad mood, he gets it done. So when John Campea left the channel of Collider, I think in 2017, that's when we were all thinking, there's only one person that can do it, that can host Movie Talk, and it was Ellis. And he did it for 2 years, and he did it his way, and he did it professionally, and he made everybody feel comfortable when they were on the air. His job, it was always his job to not shine the light on himself. It was always his job to make everyone stronger on the panel.
He's
always
such a good host.
It's always been his philosophy from the day that I met him.
That's why I wasn't allowed on the show.
Right. He is that guy that knows what people's strengths are. He knows when to throw you a curveball. He knows when to throw you a fastball. He is just that good. So when he decided he wanted to do some more live shows, and he wants to go and focus on stand-up, and he wants to do more things and get out there. And obviously, he and I have very big plans for the Schmoedown. We're going on the road 5 to 6 times this year together. We've been putting more reviews up on the Schmoes channel, or now the Schmoedown channel. So I understood it, and I got it when he decided that he's stepping away from Movie Talk, and it'll and the show will go on. But Marc Ellis is my best friend in the world. He is a pro, and he is a guy that we were lucky, and you guys were lucky to have him as a host for the last 2 years. And he'll be on the show. I talked to him this morning. He just needs some time, and then he'll be on the show a lot. And he'll be doing Schmoedown. So
we
love
talked
you,
all
Marc.
about it back and forth from Arizona, like at length.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. It definitely wasn't an easy decision. Like anything Marc does, he thinks it all the way through. Unlike me, who's just like, oh, don't stop. Marc knew what he wanted to do, and I think I think he's thinking about next steps. Like, what does he want to do outside of Schmodown, outside of Schmoes, and all that kind of stuff. And, I mean, you lose an awesome host on a show, but you don't lose the vibe of the show. You don't lose anything like that. You just lose, what Marc brought to the show and the new energy on the show next. Whenever incantation it takes, it will have that, feeling of what Marc did and, all the other people that have done it before.
Yeah, having been on the, having been one of the kind of consistent regulars over the last few months with Marc, it's been a blast. And Marc has fought for me to be on the show, and that has meant a lot to me. As still somewhat new to this business, to this industry, to have Marc fight for me and have me on the show. And in fact, he requested me to be on the last show tonight with Perry. Today with Perry, that means a lot. And Marc is he brings me up and do those stand-ups and stuff. Marc is an incredibly awesome guy who cares. When he likes someone, he will help you. Yeah. He will be there for you. But as a panelist, though, I learned so much watching him host a show. He's like a basketball, right? He's like a point guard. He sets everybody up. He gets the ball to you in the position where you can get the best shot for yourself. And that's what's incredible when you're watching Marc Ellis. I'm going to miss the F out of him being on the show because nothing rattled him. Nothing rattled him. Got a story 30 seconds before we're about to go air. He can talk about it now. So we got this or that, throw things around. Nothing rattled. Never stumbled over his words. Rarely ever. He's just incredible in that way.
It just seems so effortless when he does that. But I will say though, change is scary, but it's good.
Yeah, it is, and I think, and for him for sure, because like I said to you guys too, I've been watching Marc do stand up for a long time, and I when I got a chance to see him in New York with you guys, I hadn't really seen him in person in such a long time. We used to perform with each other all the damn time, but to see him do what he's doing now, I mean, he's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and he should be focusing a lot on that. And that's why when we do Schmodowns now, we're making it a thing that Saturday night is our show, and then Friday night these three knuckleheads are going to be doing stand up like the night before. So it'll be
the show's been awesome, man.
It's been great. So like we're going to have we're hoping to do it in Chicago. I think we are doing it in Chicago.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you will be. So the Los Angeles.
I'm not going to the Schmodown, but I'll be in Chicago.
That's very nice of you.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, maybe
just eating hot dogs.
You're not a nice person.
Am I nicer than William Dafoe?
Had she said that in Spanish, we would have been like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Please don't come to the show. Absolutely.
Goldfish here.
There it is.
Arroz con pollo, café con leche.
What is with a goldfish here in Spanish?
Gana un pescado aquí. Gana un pescado aquí.
You got to say it twice.
Or actually, it's pez because pez is alive and pescado is the actual seafood.
All right, so say it twice.
When a goldfish here in Spanish?
Yeah.
Gana un pescado. No, perdón. Gana un pez aquí. Gana un pez aquí.
I love it.
Yeah, do it.
Could you do it in that accent? Can you
Gana un pez aquí.
Gana un pez aquí. Gana un pez aquí. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Good. So anyway, Marc Ellis is going to do one more show for Movie Talk today. Make sure you check that out. It is going to be 4 o'clock. And I already told you guys that Jedi Council will be on today. It's not live, obviously.
Fake Ken is pissed.
Fake Ken is pissed about Jedi
Regular
Council.
Ken is fine with it.
Oh, well, that reminds me, by the way. So that's something I wanted to bring up.
Ken texted me yesterday. He's like, "So what? Some guy's imitating me now?" ... Awesome.
So there was that reminds me though, because this is something that I want everybody to know, because we're still fairly young. This show, we started in August, right?
I was like, what are you talking about? I'm old AF.
Nah.
Tomorrow it's a very special show. It's our 69th episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? I get to be on the 69th episode? I'm so happy.
There you go. See, that's why we got you. Oof. But listen.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Listen. There's something that everybody should, because we are a fairly young show, and that I think the fan base is still learning the vibe, right? I saw someone, because there was some ball bag that was tweeting after
that term in a while.
Yeah, well, he deserves it. Okay. The guy, I saw him. He was just like, since that Ellis is leaving, had Campbell left, Harloff, he's brought the whole thing down. I'm like, I don't have anything to do with it, right? He's like, here's all Harloff brought down Collider, and obviously everybody's tweeting him, win a goldfish here, or you want a cookie afterwards too.
Want some cookies?
Yeah, do you want some cookies?
¿Quieres una galleta?
But it just made me realize, and then someone tweeted back, listen, man, like, I understand maybe you don't like Movie Talk the way it was, or this and that too. Or, I didn't like Collider Live when I first started watching it, but I realize now what it is, and it's just there. That's what, because the guy, the troll guy, is just like, now he's just putting 2 hours of God knows what on the air every day. He's not wrong.
You just see Willem Dafoe.
It was Willem Dafoe.
Like,
He's going nuts. And then you walk by him and he's like, "Hi, how are you? How are you? What are you doing? Nothing. Nothing at all."
Hey, Christian, how's the wife?
How
Good
are
to
you?
see you.
How's everybody doing? Why is that show on the air? But anyway, so then somebody wrote back and said that the show is it's good, it's fun, and
Why do people get so
it's the
pissed
internet.
off?
Doris.
I know, but like, why do they have to control everything? It's not their show. Why don't they just make their show? It's so weird.
But
It's
whatever.
so
But,
weird.
but
It's
the point.
the age-old question of why.
Yes.
So weird.
But the point is that, and then from that one guy's comment who said, I didn't like it at first. I
Yeah.
started watching and realizing what it is.
Yeah.
Now I dig it and I love it.
Yeah.
I crack up. Like, those are the people that are starting to get the
Right,
show.
right.
And so one of the things I think the callers are starting to learn also.
Yeah.
Because, look, if you call into this show, especially when Brett's on or the four of us idiots, right? Like, you're going to get your chops busted. Like, you
Well,
like.
but-
So the one guy's asking this really nice question, and Brett's in the back asking. He doesn't have headphones on. He starts answering questions about hardware, not taking the guy's questions serious at all. You have to be prepared for a bit. There's another guy, like on our buddy C Dub, who calls
The dub.
He's the dub.
He's the best.
And he calls in, and he's been a fan for a long time. And he calls in, and he talked about the Patreon for a while, and Makuga broke his balls, said some things, and then he's got his friends who are like, "Oh, they didn't treat you right. They didn't respect you." Don't listen to those people.
That's
You're
how
gonna
people.
call-
That's how you show love.
if you're
Correct.
a regular caller,
Yeah.
you might get your balls busted.
Yes.
Be prepared for that. But don't listen to other people who probably were trying to get in on the phone in the first place and couldn't do it. So they're like, "I'm pissed." It's probably Willem's fault.
They're sad they didn't get their balls busted.
After
basically.
my bachelor party, my one buddy pulled me aside and he was just like, "Man, your brother is relentless on you." I was like, "That's the point of having a brother, is that nonstop ball busting. Like
Right.
that's what
Yeah,
you
it's
do.
good.
That's how you show love. That's
Yeah.
how everything."
And it
that's-
happens. Look,
and it happens.
And people are going to get look in this show. How many times, whether it's me and Copster the first time, Makuga, me, Roxy, the whole thing that happens, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's going to happen again. There's going to be ball breaking on this show, and it's going to happen. So if you call in, you have to be prepared for it. So do not call in those lines, because we're not just going to go, "Well, that's a very good question. Thank you very much." I don't care
This
about
isn't
that.
the delicious dish.
It's not what I want to do.
Or Coast 103.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Tell
like
me about your
you-
feelings.
You're right. You can get messed with if you call
Yeah.
on the show. So be prepared for it.
Yep.
That's the whole point. Just like
Yep.
they disrespected you. Yeah, that's what happened yesterday. But we did it because we were breaking your balls, and it was a good bit.
The inherent nature of breaking balls is feeling comfortability with that person. So the fact
Right.
you're getting a shortcut by calling in, busting your balls, is a way of saying we accept you and thank you for
Yes.
listening or watching the show. Because the people who bust your balls the most are your best friends
Exactly.
or your family members.
And
they
there's
know
also going
what
to be
to do.
and there's also going to be times that we don't know any of these people that call up, right? And I've told people this, and you should be prepared for it. And I always say, know what you're going to say before you call, because if someone calls in and goes, "Yeah, I haven't," and I was thinking. Okay, so there's a movie, and when then we're okay to go today, Junior. Like that's okay.
Well, sometimes people also get nervous, and if
I
they're
know.
like, "Hey,
I
I'm
feel
really
bad
nervous," then
because
okay.
they don't know. They forget what they're gonna say.
And that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though. But be prepared that you're
Yeah.
entering
No, I
a
get it.
fucking war zone.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what you're entering when you're in this show.
That's the only reason I'm doing this show, because
That's
I
right.
love busting your balls.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And speaking of which, I cannot wait for celebration. Now you're going to be there.
I am.
I've said it. Dorina is the best. It used to be Finstock, followed by Makuga, then leading to Dorina as the best people
Like, what
to
are you
go
gonna
to
say?
go to parties with.
Yes.
To go to parties with. Dorina is the best of
I
all
keep
time.
hearing the stories.
She's the best.
in the break room. So.
Listen, I'm talking
Is
about my
celebration-
career. I'm talking
Yeah,
about my
oh,
career
okay,
working
okay.
with people. She's the best.
Don't
Is-
say that, because then people are gonna want me to get them into parties.
We
And I don't want
charge
to get them into
motherfuckers.
parties.
Charge them.
yeah.
Is Star Wars Celebration party-wise like Comic-Con?
No.
Don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it's not.
But maybe
At all.
I heard that they're changing it up this year. They're going to do some parties, but I mean, we don't really have that much time to
There's
do
not
it.
multiple studios either.
It's just one. Well, but yeah, but it's more about, I guess, like the different people that would have them. But I think that on Thursday is probably the only day we'd be able to do it, because Thursday night, well, Friday night you got your show, and then Saturday night we got the Schmodown.
Friday's a comedy show.
Yeah, and the Friday is also, it looks like there's no confirmation on it yet. It's pretty close that the way that we're going to have 2 panels for Celebration, pretty close. That Friday will be the movie trivia Schmodown, #1 contender match. I think we're aiming at like 2:30 or 3:30 on the fan stage. It'll be called the Battle of the Masters. It won't be you. So you're going to find it Battle of the Trivia Masters.
Do you know who it would be? No.
I
you
have
allowed to
five.
talk about
I
it?
have 5 people. I have 5 people in mind, and then once I get it confirmed, I'll announce those people. The winner will play Alex Damon the following night for the championship. And
Alex.
yes, Alex will be there. And then what's his name? Who's the boss? Mark Riley and Ben Bateman will play as well in a TBD match. We just got to find their opponents coming up in the season. So it's going to be pretty stacked. But Sunday, I guess, could be a party night too because it goes until Monday.
Although you're all going to be exhausted by then.
I think I'm going to come home on Sunday.
I
Unless
would love to get home in time to watch the final round of the Masters.
I want to watch Game of Thrones.
And then Game of Thrones that night. Yeah.
I've never been there, so I'm
Chicago?
Yeah, so I'm going Wednesday through Monday.
It's a fantastic
Yeah.
city.
I just want to eat pizza, and hang
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna. I don't know yet. I got to see what Sunday because Sunday anyway. Sorry, so Sunday, Jedi Council is going to have their panel.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be
Okay.
Jedi Council and then the Schmodown or Battle of the Masters as it will be called during that week.
So you'll have to stay for Sunday.
I'll have to stay I have to leave either Sunday night or
Oh,
Monday
right.
morning.
Yeah,
So-
you should all stay for Sunday because I'm leaving Monday.
Oh, all right.
But
So
I'm
it's all about you.
You know why? Yeah, of course. That's what I thought.
That's
Yeah.
why else did I come in?
It's mid-April too, so the baseball season will have started. So there might be a Cubs game that weekend. I don't know if they would put Star Wars Celebration in a Cubs
April
game.
11th though. Is it started early?
April 1st is usually opening day. April 2nd
That's right.
or 3rd.
Yeah.
So
Americans
talk
and
for me. I pick up my
baseball.
pen.
yeah, and it's cold. It's
So
still
weird.
cold in Chicago in April. It's still cold. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Oh.
could get lucky, and it could be somewhat warmish.
Yeah.
But I remember, like growing up on the
It's
East
not gonna
Coast,
be
you
like
guys
now, though.
know.
It's like
no,
negative
no,
40
no,
or
no,
some
no.
shit. Yeah.
But in April, one of the biggest blizzards in the history of Pittsburgh, I was like 10 years old, was April like 11th or 12th or something like that. So it can go from 50 or 60 degrees to minus 20 pretty quick in April.
Damn.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Not exciting. But you know
No,
what? I am
what?
excited though. As much as I get sick of Star Wars, when you're in
It's a bad place to go if you're
no,
gonna
no,
be sick
no.
of Star Wars.
Well, when you're at that convention, you see people being happy and passionate about it.
Right.
Like that actually, that
Oh,
excitement
it puts it back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's nice
you're
to
sick
see
of the
that.
negativity.
No, I'm just.
Oh.
It's just too much.
Oh, okay.
It needs. I need a break.
You need a break now?
Yeah.
But you've had a pretty big break. It'll be a year and a half.
Well, but what? No, but people are talking about it every day.
Well, yeah.
When it go fish.
Yeah.
But what's the weekend of
Because it's
celebration?
like John Williams now when it
he's
comes to it.
crushing
Yeah.
it.
What's the weekend of celebration? April 11th?
April 11th.
Yeah.
So
All
they-
right, the Angels are in town.
Oh.
For Chicago.
What?
Oh, they are.
Angels are
Uh-oh,
in town, Cody.
What?
Yep,
Cody,
they got 3 games
Cody,
starting on the 12th.
Cody, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Well, when is it? What?
April 12th, 13th, and the Pirates are there on the 10th.
Wait,
and
are they there? Are they there on that Sunday?
They are there on the Sunday.
All right, Cody. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If no, you're not Cody.
Josh's face
You
is
said
pure
yeah.
joy.
Did you see that? I said, Cody, I want to ask you a question. Roku goes, yeah. Cody, so if I was to say, okay, listen, I'm not going to pay you to work the Schmodown, but I'll buy you really nice seats at the Angels game instead. Would you go? Yeah. Would you go by yourself? Yeah, all right.
Hey, Cody, what if they were serving some sort of food there? Would you like that? Okay.
What kind of food?
What kind of food?
You want some cookies?
What about something to
A
drink?
glass of milk?
Okay.
How many innings in baseball?
How many innings are there?
9.
9?
Walk right into
You got it. You got
Walk
it.
right into it. I'm still,
All right,
you
good.
know.
Thank you, Cody. All right, Cody, we'll talk about that. All right. All right.
And March 28th is opening day. Jesus, Josh. March 28th.
Yeah.
That's early.
It's early.
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes they go into November.
Yeah, they're spreading the games out.
Why?
Why? Is the
Playoffs
season.
are so
Why
long.
Why
Yeah.
are there so many games? I don't
Okay.
understand that. Because I'm a sports fan of other sports, but not baseball. Why are there so many
Let me
games?
break down
164
the reasons.
games.
163.
163.
I mean, other than money.
162.
Okay, so money obviously is a big deal. The thing about baseball is, unlike football or a basketball or a hockey, is you don't get as tired playing baseball. It's like plain and simple, right? So the thing is, in baseball, is this stats, records-driven thing, right? So it's always been this many games, and to get to those records, baseball is all about numbers. So you can't. Listen, as much as I would like the baseball season to be shortened and have more playoff teams, they'll never touch it because the record books would have to be totally rewritten, and baseball will never do that.
I appreciate the skill of the athletes. I can't I watch a game. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that was a good
Sure.
play. But I can't. I just rather
No,
watch
it's 'cause
soccer or hockey.
But
I
that's
just
also
can't.
because in what baseball has
And Mexicans
always.
love baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not me.
There's also been a lot, though too, that where if you don't have a team that you root
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
and then baseball is one of those things. Like you can, there are
Right.
there's sports like football. You don't necessarily have to root for a team. You could have a team that you enjoy, but you don't have to be like a diehard fan of. Baseball is one of those sports that like you've got to be like Cody's
actual
diehard
fan.
Angels. I'm diehard Yankees. So we follow like Roka's diehard Yankees. So we follow the season. The
I love my Pirates, yeah.
So
Well, you just grew up with it. Like I grew up
that's
with
right.
soccer.
That's exactly
and
right.
Basketball.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is because New York baseball is huge,
Right.
and it is not. I mean, people are Dodger fans, but it's not the same way that it is like back home.
No,
It's
yeah.
Yankees and Mets, and it's like Civil War.
You can't even argue Giants or even. There's nothing in New York like the Yankees. Not a damn thing
Yeah,
sports wise
and
like the
look,
Yankees.
It's the biggest sports team in New York.
100%.
Yeah, it is. And then
Pinstripes are iconic, man.
yeah, but I mean, look. But the thing is, the Mets fans are diehards.
Yeah.
And remember, I lived in Queens, so I was supposed to be a Mets fan. Just my dad raised me on the Yankees. So
It's the thing too is
Do
you know
people move your garbage cans there?
yeah, I grew up with Willem Dafoe.
Garbage. You want to call garbage, boy?
It's the best club.
That's great. The thing too is with baseball is it's an amazing activity in the summertime, right?
Right.
So like in the summer we would go
If
to
you
20,
like going outside, yes.
sometimes 30
You not
Pirate
like the
games
outside?
because you can get a $5 ticket. You know, for the nosebleeds. As a kid, we'd take the train down into the
that's true.
city, go to a Pirates game, come home. It's amazing.
Do you get
and
set
then
on-
you get to eat nachos.
Do you get
Yeah.
set on fire when you go to the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just blowing.
yeah, just outside
can't do it.
and then churches.
Have you ever?
I melt.
Do you go to the
Churches.
beach? Do you ever go to the beach?
No, actually, I grew up super vampire-like,
Yeah, I
and
know,
then the
that's
last
right.
couple of years, I love the sun. It's really weird.
Oh,
I don't know what
but
happened.
you do go to the beach now.
Now I do.
Oh, but
but
you
not
never-
for 5 years.
Because you love Wednesday Addams.
No, I didn't go out to the sun because I love Wednesday Addams. It's
No,
because
I'm just saying
the
you love
sun
Wednesday.
hurt me.
You said you were like a vampire. I thought you were like super goth. You it hurt me. Ow! Stop it, son.
sun actually was hurting me
burns.
for 30 years of my life. It
But
had
you
nothing
do.
to do with
But,
Wednesday Addams.
but aren't you like obsessed with Wednesday Addams?
I
thought you
mean,
were.
she was a hero when I was a kid.
Right. that's what
Yeah,
I'm
she's
saying.
pretty awesome.
Okay, so that's one that she
Yeah.
hated the beach. So I
Yeah.
figured 2 and 2.
No, I mean, it was just the sun hurt me.
Do you wear like a leather jacket and black pants to the beach if you went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen that here.
Yeah.
It's an interesting look.
I wear a full black bodysuit and then a black umbrella.
And like just a mask.
Yeah. Yes, you know those like hat umbrellas? That's actually how I
had
go to
one
the
of
With a
beach.
straw that just connects
Yeah.
to your mouth.
I also had one of those.
Drink in your pocket. Amazing. Yeah. That's really good.
That's interesting. You're like
She goes into the water, kills 3 fish, comes back out, puts the thing back in. Yeah.
Yeah. Got un pez aquí.
Bless you. Bless you. All right. That's good stuff.
Well, it's good stuff. People want to know if you cheer for Las Chivas or who do you cheer for?
Chivas.
Chivas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's from Guadalajara.
All right, there you go.
So.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Narcos season this year?
No, you keep telling me about it. I can't wait to see it.
You don't have to have watched the previous ones, right? That's what I heard. It's a
That's the
singular
one with
season.
Diego Luna,
Totally
right?
set.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
really
And
want to
Peña.
see that because that's actually based on the Arellano Felix, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And my last name.
Yes.
Not related,
Not
but
related.
my last name.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
let me tell you something. That Riley, one thing, as much as I break his balls about his notes,
Yeah.
because sometimes he gives notes and he sets notes up from like last week. It'll be like the date from like last week will be on there.
Hey, talk about Holmes and Watson. Jesus, right?
Yeah, right. That's Riley's. But at least I can see what he writes.
Oh, I see.
This is, I mean,
No, okay.
my eyes are already going on me. This, I mean, what is this? It looks like ants running around to get food.
Look, I got to put the De Niro glasses on at the end of Casino.
I got the
this?
call at 9:45. At 9:45, you're gonna produce
What
the
does that
show,
mean?
and I'm like, okay, what do I do? He's like, print this thing out. He's got a weird way of setting this up,
Right.
So I did
So
the
it's his
best I
fault.
could. I
It's-
put everything.
so it's Riley's fault.
No, it's not Riley's fault.
It's Riley's fault.
Okay, I'll accept that. It's Riley's fault. I feel bad for Cal. It's Riley's fault.
That's right,
But
right.
I put this thing together. I did the best.
But you
I
know we
could.
can't see this,
No,
right?
I,
Okay.
I can read it.
You have glasses on.
Well, of course, it's because I'm blind.
Of course. All right.
Well,
Well,
why is it so small?
I just printed what Riley wrote. I just printed
Roca.
out what Riley built.
ask Roka.
Why is it so small, Dorina? Well, genetics mostly. It's
Shrinkage, Jerry.
I was in the pool.
Boom.
Should have waited for the 69th episode
I
tomorrow.
know. All right. All right. So. All right.
Honey, I'm home.
I know it's true.
Arroz con pollo.
Somebody did go to the beach and didn't wear the full suit. 9!
All right, let's get to some of these news stories. So we got the big news story is going to happen at 10 o'clock.
I just can't. The lineup. The sun hurt me.
It's not because I like Wednesday Addams, you dick.
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah, but that's why you're on the show.
Why did the sun hurt you?
Why- you
Where
know-
did it touch you?
I know. Did
It
have
hurts
bad
my
news?
emotions. Yeah. It did.
Just
We're okay now, but it did for a long
Just
time.
want the moon.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What's going on in the world of movie news? Because we have some stuff. I know we're going to do the big thing at 11 o'clock. So what's going on? Any other stories here, Roman?
What am I supposed to talk about here?
Oh,
There's
good.
anxiety. The AWOL executives. Am I talking about this stuff?
You
Or what am I
pick, motherfucker.
All
Whatever
right,
you want.
Halloween.
if we're going to talk about the big thing later,
Yes.
then let's talk about the Greengrass Tom Hanks thing. Then
What is that?
Right now, it's Tom Hanks and Greengrass are reuniting.
Okay.
To do
Oh,
a
I am
film.
the captain now.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, it's a film he's going to
That's the
play.
same guy, right?
Yeah, same guy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because they did Captain Phillips together.
Yeah.
Made $218 million.
Right.
You know, everybody's you're the captain now. But this is it's a film called News of the World, and it's 1870. And Tom Hanks is playing Captain Jefferson Cow Kid. He travels through northern Texas, giving live readings to paying audiences hungry for news of the world. So people who are illiterate and
Wanna
can't
learn
read,
more about what the hell's
he's
going
like a
on
town
out there.
crier going from
Is
town to town.
he a bullshitter or is he telling real
No, he's telling the
Okay.
truth. And then in Wichita Falls, he is offered a $50 gold piece to deliver a young orphan to her relatives in San Antonio. 4 years earlier, a band of Kiowa raiders killed this orphan's
It's like
parents.
Saving Private Ryan almost.
Kinda,
huh?
and
Yeah.
so he has to shepherd this child back all the way to Texas while he's going through. So it's kind of
shit can go down.
It's kind of shit can go down. So
Who you
it's at that
who you
time.
tweeting over there?
Riley texted me.
What's going on?
It's not good.
No?
No.
It's not great. Yeah. He's, I mean, everybody wants a Cal update.
Yeah.
I guess he's got some internal bleeding, and it's a tumor, and he said there's a sliver of hope, but it's not looking great. So thoughts and prayers out to Ricard and Cal and everybody. And
That's what happened to my father-in-law's dog.
yeah,
Exact same
it's
thing.
just
That's
I'm
so
reading this and
sad.
just like holding back tears. You know,
Yeah.
Cal was my buddy, man. Cal hung in the writers' room
Riley.
every single day.
That's so
Right,
sad.
and that's-
We just went to their house to Riley and Julie's this weekend, and Cal was all sad for a little bit, but then when he was around us and we were like, petting him, like it's like he seemed a little bit happier.
Yeah,
So
oh,
it just
man.
it makes me so sad. I feel
That
so
sucks.
bad.
Cal's the man.
Cal's the best.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, all right. Let's go to break then.
Yeah.
We'll go to break. When we get back, we'll finish up some of the news stories and we'll get into this big thing of what the hell's going on with this Disney and Fox thing. We'll talk about it. But tweet out to Riley. He needs your love. Do it.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games. And then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we like you. That's right. All of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Riley, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming, because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway, because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. You can listen to Collider Movie Talk's feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff, a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag Collider TV Talk. You can find on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books, because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Stryer, and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends and tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh McCouga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Stryer and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Mance, and just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
Break it down, Cody. Break it down, kid. Are you going nuts back there? You just dancing your balls off?
Maybe.
Good boy. Welcome back to Collider Live, everybody. We are back. Darina, Roca, McCougs, Cody Hall, and sending all our love to Mark, Riley, and Cal. Hang in there.
And Julie.
And Julie. Hang in there, guys. I just wrote to Riley and just said, give them all you love them, man. Yeah. It's like, that's tough. That's what we were just talking about, the dogs, man. It's just like, you were talking about.
You're not like I want a dog so bad. Yeah. I grew up with Shih Tzus. The day that our second dog died, it's impossible. Yeah. We should outlive dogs, or dogs should outlive us.
I
is
agree.
what I mean.
Yes.
Because
they have nobody to take care of them.
But they should at least live 60 years old.
I'd like them to be older.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That's
dogs
not
get
fair.
and dogs,
especially because they're better than humans.
Correct. And dogs get old so quick. Like one day they're a puppy, and the next day they're just old.
Dude, it's like because one day is like a couple of years, man. It's like it's crazy.
And what I keep thinking is, go ahead. No. Like all I keep thinking is, I get this dog, I fall in love with this dog. I have this dog forever. He's my best friend, and he dies.
Yeah, because listen, 10 to 12 years goes like that.
So fast.
It goes quick, man. I was just thinking. Speaking of which, not the best transition in the world, but speaking of how fast time goes. Karate Kid is going to be 35 years old.
Holy jeez.
That's crazy.
That's almost how old I am.
See?
It's a good thing we have Cobra Kai. It's a good thing.
35.
That is a good show.
I can't believe that movie's out.
I know.
Well, they're about to celebrate the 40th anniversary of The Warriors. Remember The Warriors?
Yeah, of course.
Everybody loves that film. But
I'm shocked they haven't remade that movie.
Oh, yeah?
They remade everything, but they haven't.
They did a
Hey, you didn't hit that hard
show.
enough. You didn't hit her in the head.
I'm a massive... Look, I'm a large mammal. I'm sorry. I have to move around.
They did Broadway play of Warriors.
No, they didn't.
They might have.
I don't think so.
They should.
There was, I think
Should
there was
we do one?
eight guys in it.
May have been 9.
Might have been.
Could have been
9?
I think it was 9. All right. Anyway, I have no idea if there was a Warriors play. Let's move on. So
we just had like a Mexican standoff
It
with
was.
our eyeball.
it was like, no. Everybody else just disappeared from the room. Yes.
I'm gonna throw your trash cans in the street tonight, sir. Dance around them in a wildfire.
And Willem Dafoe hits the street like Platoon. And he's like, oh, in the back. Bonds! All right, let's move on. Roki, we were talking about before some other news stories before we get into the big one here too. What else we got? So you gave me the Tom Hanks story.
I gave the Tom Hanks story.
Anything
Yeah,
else
he's going to
on?
be moving around doing that kind of jazz. We'll see.
There's the Dam.
There's a writer who might be writing Halloween 2. Did you guys enjoy the Halloween?
I think Snyder broke that, right?
Yeah, he broke that. Big Jeff Snyder.
Did you guys like Halloween? I liked half of it.
Yeah, I liked most of it.
Yeah.
And then
I saw it with you, didn't I?
What?
I think I saw it with you. Yeah.
Josh did not. You do not like scary movies.
I need you to see that movie.
Why?
Because I like how you react to them. I
What
get
would
pleasure
it
out of
take
your
you
pain.
to what can we do for you to go to those movies with us?
Well, Christian he's done this once with me before. Is all he has to do is buy me a nice lunch and a drink and
mic him up.
and
Good
mic
job,
me
Cody.
up.
Yeah. We just gotta mic him up.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you ever seen him play VR scary games?
Just one video.
Oh.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
the
should keep
best.
doing that.
The best
really
is during
good.
movie talk.
Yeah.
Have you seen the?
Oh, you hear his
Wait,
Oh, you
what?
can hear it during
Yeah,
the movie
of
talk?
course.
There's an episode where you can hear it.
Oh yeah, one time
Really?
Ellis was like super pissed. We could hear him. And you can hear him because was like, and Ellis was like, "Well, if you guys want to hear some serious news, we're going to talk about this, or that." And we I guess we'd gone to a video or something for like a minute, and he goes, "Adam, is there any way to shoot him? Is that possible? Like, because we can't." And it was so fun.
What would it take? Have you ever been to a haunted maze?
We talked about this.
Okay. I went
Like Halloween Horror Nights or...
do you guys know what the JCs are? Did you guys have the JCs? There was like a
Jean-Claude.
no, it was like an American Legion, like a charity.
right,
You remember
the JCs, yeah.
Okay.
So the JCs had a haunted house in my town, and I never wanted to go ever. And everybody talked about, oh, the JCs is so scary. The JCs is so scary. So there was this girl who in the 6th grade I was just in love with.
Well, okay.
Right?
So this is already telling.
Yeah, and she just moved to our town, and she loves scary stuff. And I was trying to act like the cool dude.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'll go to the JCs with Courtney, definitely, no doubt.
So you made an impression?
So we go, and I'm with like my
Is this
best.
skinny McCougar or fat McCougar?
This is husky jeans.
Okay.
How fat were you?
How fat were you?
Well, here's the funny
I
thing.
mean,
is-
come on. Were you skinny? Were you fat? What were you eating? Were you speaking Italian? What's the deal?
The jeans had elastic.
I mean, come on. Talk about JC.
My brother was this skinny Cody rail of a guy. Talk about the JC.
I mean, figure it out. What are you going to do?
That was the worst experience of my life when we went to buy a first pair of suit pants, and the guy goes, because I was a fat kid.
Are they soup? Are they pants? I mean, what are
So
they?
you can't shop here. The
Slacks.
husky section is where you need to go. And as a kid, you're like, boo, went.
Might as well say, hey, Sloppy, get over here.
Chubs. Come here, Chubs. Over there.
Fatty.
Yeah.
So I had a brother who was
Don't wait on that guy. That's the fat.
Nice guy.
You'll have to adjust those.
Nice guy.
And my brother would crush me because he was a skinny beanpole kid,
yeah.
and I'd have to go to the husky jeans section. I had like extra large T-shirts. As
Yeah.
a
And he broke
10-year-old.
your balls about it, too.
Yeah, but then I lost my body fat because I was a swimmer. Like I lost the baby fat real quick.
So you go out with this girl.
But so I go out with Courtney, and I'm with my like a couple of my best friends, and they brought dates, and like our parents dropped us off at the haunted house, and I think my mom even turned around, she's like, "You sure about this?"
Yeah. When did you start showing signs of the pussification?
Like 8, 9.
8. You knew the first time. What was the first thing that scared the hell out of you?
The movie was it Jason
Aladdin.
2? What's
Friday the 13th?
Is that what Jason is?
Yes.
Yes.
So we were at my buddy Justin Houth's house. I remember in like his 3rd grade birthday party.
Oh, no. 3rd grade, I got you.
And we
Great.
watched Jason 2 or Halloween, whatever, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
The second one, because I remember there was a sewer scene at the end of it.
Okay.
And he's
It's not a scary movie.
I mean, legitimately didn't sleep.
For someone in the 3rd
That's
grade?
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, you're right. I was
Yeah,
scared of Freddy.
yeah.
That's
Scared for weeks, and my mom called his dad and was like, "What did you do to my son?" So I, scared of the dark, scared of everything, and so we go to this JC's haunted house, and people are screaming from the inside of it, and I'm peeing my pants. Like, I'm just like, "Oh!"
Are you trying to put on a face
Trying
for
to
the
put
girl?
on a show.
Yeah.
We get to the front door, and I was like, "Oh!" I think, and my buddy Colin just go, get in, pussy. And he pushed me. Right?
Did you freak out?
And, dude, Courtney, we didn't last much longer.
No. She saw it.
Yeah.
She
And
saw it
that's
happen.
the one and only haunted house ever
So
been.
you haven't been, how old were you?
What's fifth
27.
12?
Okay.
11, 12?
No, you need to go back as an adult.
Listen, he's probably worse now than he was back then. But we talked about horror nights, and the first thing he's like, "I'm not
That
doing
one's
it."
not scary. We should go to another one.
Listen, I'm
No,
not
I'm
kidding.
not joking. It was bad
He
last
thinks
year.
Ursula from Little Mermaid is scary. So like, if you
Really?
Dude, when she comes out of the water, that is some scary ass shit.
Well, listen. So I said to him, I was at the horror nights. He's like, "I'm not doing that, dude." And I was like, "What if we did it? We'll mic you up." And he's like, "Fine, I'll do it." He's like, but he had plans.
Yeah.
But he said he would do it.
Okay, there's my favorite haunted live attraction anywhere in LA.
Where?
Delusion. Okay, it's this live haunted interactive play. It's
But
amazing.
This scares you?
Yeah. Yes.
No, then you can't do that.
No. It doesn't scare me. It is scary, but it's actually done by filmmakers.
I know, but what
and
does
it's
that mean?
during the year. No, it means it's
Are
done.
you
it's
trying
good-
to sell me? This is like me trying to sell you on the sun. You're like, it hurt me. Yeah,
Right.
I know. The haunted house
But
is
it's
scared.
good for you.
Is it?
Yes.
So-
No,
it'll
it's
make you
not.
braver. I've been taking my friends every year that get scared, and they didn't cry last year.
I don't think
they
you
only
understand.
cried the first year.
I don't
The
think
first year they hadn't cried.
One,
It was
Yeah.
the first time.
one video
Well, I
didn't
stabbed
do
the
it
guy. He didn't
justice.
die the first time, but I kept getting him until
We
he
took him
died.
to see it, and Ellis
Oh,
told me.
Lord.
Ellis told me today, like a couple days ago. He goes, "Listen," he goes, like, "I want to see it too." He goes, "If you guys decide to do something for Cloud Live with McCoy," he's like, I can't sit next to him."
Yeah, that's what
he goes, I can't do it." He's like, because he did it the first time, and the whole time was, Cody, what do you think it sounded like inside of that theater during it? The whole time.
Is that you?
That's me.
That's incredible. Like
Yeah.
you must have a crazy singing range.
I mean, we could go do karaoke.
Yeah,
You could check it out.
can we just put up one of the let's go to the Exorcist video. Go to the Exorcist
No,
video.
I don't like The Exorcist. Scares me.
No, but this won't scare you. Go to the Exorcist video with Makuga and just go to the swine part because it's my favorite part.
So we went for the Wangers, and then we did one for Collider Live. So we went to see the Nun for Collider Live.
Yes.
And that
What,
was
did that scare
a lot.
you?
That's scary, though.
No, by the end, I was a little
Yeah,
over the
you
jump
were
scares,
over
but I
it.
still
Okay.
was jumping.
Okay.
Hereditary, I went with, it was just me
yeah.
and Beardo, right? And about 20 minutes into the movie, I said to him, how much longer is this movie? And he goes, it's only been 20 minutes. I was
Toward the
so
end, Cody.
uncomfortable. So when we're walking
And you
out
don't
of-
enjoy it at all.
Don't enjoy it, don't like it, whatever. I went to...
That's right around there.
I'm walking out of the theater, and there was like 6 teenage girls in the front row, and they were about 20 rows in front of us. And the one waited, and she was like, "We were just wondering if you were okay."
yeah.
That's very nice of them.
Let me tell you. So first of all, it is a crime that this video only has 13,000 views.
Yeah.
You're the one that you show to the It Kids is like 1 million views.
1 million views.
This is The Exorcist Legion VR.
There's nothing-
HTC. How you guys have not all been watching this? So just turn it up.
Play it.
Yeah, this is Makuga. He's sitting around. He's looking at. He's throwing things. Now he's picking up candles. Look how scared he is.
Oh, it just went dark.
Look. See? He's losing his mind.
Nothing's happening.
I told you, those fucking swine.
And it's like he's look, you see him, I'm cracking up sitting next to him. He's losing his mind. He's moving around there and like he just doesn't like he's so emotionally drained. You watch what happens to him when this thing ends.
That's why they always say, you swine.
He was so yeah, look, and he's picking up crosses. He's trying everything that he can to make this work because I think
I'm getting anxiety watching.
you were freaking out. Like it was really funny. Like Riley, I wish you could do one of these right now to make Riley laugh because Riley loves when you do this. Riley gets such a big kick out of this. But yeah,
You're just constantly making noises.
he and people don't realize that it's all legit.
Yeah.
Like
No,
he's
it's
faking.
legit.
I can
Trying
tell
to
you right
punch
now.
things.
Yeah, here,
I
now
tried
watch.
to-
Watch. This is the end of it. Watch what happens to him. Riley's losing it. Anyway, you guys should. It was the
I
best.
actually feel kind of bad.
Don't.
It's really funny.
It's funny.
But I feel a little bit
Yeah,
bad.
it's good. We haven't done one
But
of those
you
in a
should
while.
come to a haunted maze.
Oh, okay, sure.
Will you do
You
that
would
for?
make me so happy. Can you do it for my birthday
All right.
in July?
Is it July?
Actually, I have tickets to Delusion April.
Don't do the delusion.
It's all year
That's too
round?
much. That's too much for him. I'm
No,
telling
no,
you.
it'll be good. No, because it's actually not that scary. It's just really well done. Yeah, you'll actually like it because it's really well made.
You don't know him that well. I'm telling
I think you'll like it.
We are friends, but you don't know me
I
on the
think you'll
level
like it.
of where that puts me
And you can
emotionally
leave
and
if you don't
spiritually.
like
I think Halloween Horror Nights is because you feel like that's timid, right?
No. I just don't think it's well done anymore. I think they just do. It's every maze is the same thing.
If you listen,
It's boring.
If you put a Borat mask on somebody and have them jump out from the corner, he'll think it's the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So it's anything that you think is just lame is going to be the scariest thing.
Okay,
for him.
let's go to the hayride. That's the tamest
Oh,
one.
the hayride.
Is that scary?
It's
No, you don't like
what?
Roka's scared of that one? See, if Roka's
Why?
scared of it,
Oh, the corn maze is the worst. The corn maze.
That
the
one's
maze
less
is-
scary
No, we
than
gotta do the
Horror
horror-
Nights.
we'll do the Horror
That's
Nights.
like the one you
I
start
don't even
with.
like corn.
You got
Yeah.
to stop seeing things like at your level. They're like the regular people who
All
can't
right.
handle
was
it.
the least scary one.
Let's move on.
Anyways.
Let's move on. Thank you, Cody. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? So, let's see.
Well, yeah, Scott Teams is probably going to write Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Jeff Snyder reported that. We'll see. It's interesting because David Gordon Green, it sounds like he might not be coming back, and he wrote the one that
okay.
was there. So that's an interesting thing. Why is he not coming back? It might be because
David
people
Gordon
didn't feel
Green?
100%. Well,
Right.
yeah, and Danny McBride, they worked on this.
They worked on it
Halloween.
together.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
pretty incredible. And they brought back John Carpenter to do the music. So
Yeah.
Cool.
it
With
was
his son, yeah.
With his son, right? It was a big deal. And then
I said that Billy Eichner. Billy
Yeah.
Eichner is going to be writing something with Judd Apatow. Judd Apatow has been pretty good for comedians that way. You know, look what Amy Schumer. I still think that's the really only good movie she's done. Is
Trainwreck is super funny.
Oh man, I feel pretty. I thought it was actually pretty well done. I
didn't
enjoyed
see it.
that
I fell
movie.
asleep.
Did you? Really?
Yeah, I fell
I
asleep.
thought the first hour was great.
I Feel Pretty?
and
Yeah.
then it started to go into cliches. You're like,
Yeah.
damn it,
Yeah.
it was going so well.
I passed
So-
out. I
but
did see. I
yeah,
did
a lot
see
of
what
people liked
women.
it, though.
I saw what women want last night.
What men want.
And
What men want.
How was it?
You talk about cliche. It's pretty cliche. I mean, I could tell you, and it's what I said earlier this morning. It's an an agent. She's she's a powerful agent looking to get a promotion to become a partner at a very predominantly like boys club type of agency, and then she gets the power to hear men's thoughts. You guys can write the movie from there.
It's the same
So it's
plot
a Mel
as-
Gibson,
It's a remake.
Helen Hunt.
It's a remake.
But it's reverse roles.
It's
Right.
reversed,
Yeah.
but it's very very predictable, and I think that it's just okay.
And by the way,
No.
What Women Want was actually a damn good movie. Actually, a funny movie,
Yeah.
and to put someone iconic like Gibson in that was smart.
If you go back and watch
At that time.
What Women Want, it was on TV a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and the wife and I caught like the last hour of it. It's pretty Me Too. Like it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the 90s. You know what I mean? A lot of it doesn't hold up in the sense of where we are as a people in a
That's
climate
fair.
in business.
But that's
everything,
the thing with this movie. Felt like it was obviously trying to have a big message, but it also felt like it was taking like
But it was still dated, right?
Just taking
felt
shots.
like a '90s movie. It felt like a '90s movie that just
Yeah.
like it was lazy.
Yeah, movies that are, they have unfairly for the women demographic
Yeah.
because I don't like those movies. That's dumb. But they make these movies thinking, oh, this is what they want, so let's give them this, and they're never good.
Nah, it didn't
It's
work.
So weird.
It was to do it to reverse it to
Yeah.
say like, okay, this is they're clearly. I mean, they mentioned Me Too in the movie, but I think that it just gets lost in all this like really bad writing.
Put
And,
Like
Tracy
generic.
Morgan back in like a 30 Rock kind of show.
yeah, he was good in the movie.
Was he?
Yeah, he was good.
He's
He had some
always
funny-
good,
He had some
man.
funny
He's-
lines.
When she's
he's
good,
funny.
too.
I like her better as a dramatic actress.
Oh, yeah?
As a lead comedic actress, it wasn't
only
necessarily
seen
so
her
likable
dramatic.
to me as a lead comedic
I like
actress.
Taraji
And
P. Henson,
I
yeah.
like her
Yeah.
too,
She's
but I
great.
just didn't like her in that role.
I'm going tonight to see if it's any good.
Yeah,
Because we're
Let
going
me
to talk
know.
about our movie review talk tomorrow, so I want to make see if it's any good.
Let me know.
I'm excited about this Judd Apatow.
Why don't you go?
Yeah.
You were supposed to go last night. Why didn't
Yeah, I
you go
was
with me?
supposed to go
What
last night. I
Just didn't wanna go.
No, I had to go see. I went home and watched Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh, what's that?
That's that Jake
Is that
Gyllenhaal
Jake
movie.
Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Oh.
Dan Gilroy, art film
Oh, is
that
it-
turns into a horror film.
Ooh.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Spoilers.
Is it not good?
no, it's in the trailer. It
Oh,
turns into-
speaking
okay.
of spoilers, man, what a debate we had with the 3 Identical Strangers thing. Big debate going on. Well, the fans. I got to be honest. I'm kind of siding with the fans on what they said because
Would someone spoil that?
Well, listen.
Okay.
Well, don't spoil it for me.
3 Identical Strangers is a documentary.
it is.
Fantastic.
But,
That's
but
great.
it's a great documentary, one of the best. But the argument that the discussion we had yesterday was like, it's a true story. The facts
Yeah.
have been out there. Like it's something you could Google and you could see. So like if we talk about the story, just like anything happened, it's just what's out there. But a lot of fans didn't feel that way. A lot of fans said, well, look, I didn't know. Like, let's talk about Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't know Freddie Mercury died. You know, it's like I didn't.
Really?
So
That's crazy.
younger fan didn't know. He's like, so I don't want to learn it from you guys. I want to learn it from the movie. So I don't want to learn that from my 3 Identical Strangers. He's like, I understand if you talk. And the guy was very respectful in the comment, the way that he brought it up. And he said, he's like, I'm not going to tell you not to talk about the spoilers, but you should warn people. Right. And I think that's fair. It's something that I've always been.
How long does the movie have to be out though for that? Right?
I mean, I think a couple of years, but this movie just came out like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So.
What about Bohemian Rhapsody though?
Bohemian Rhapsody, I still think. I mean, that's a different one, man. Bohemian Rhapsody,
he died in '91.
I know.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm not going to go. I understood his point, but
at 3 Identical Strangers.
Come on, but 3 Identical Strangers is a documentary, and there are things that happen inside of it. You shouldn't be as familiar with that story like you are Freddie Mercury.
Right.
So I get it. So I apologize to those people.
I went to a Super Bowl party on Sunday, and a couple of guys hated Bohemian Rhapsody, and I really didn't want to get into an argument with it, whatever. And
like Ellis sticking the thing in the. Yeah.
I don't want to argue with people about certain movies that I like, and their complaints are just like they didn't show enough gay stuff. I'm like, that's
not my complaint.
I know, but that was their complaint.
You thought it was too vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I thought it was generic. I love Queen, and I don't think it's a bad movie.
But
I was joking that I was like, oh, it's shitty. It's not shitty. It's fine.
Okay,
I just don't think it's Oscar worthy at all.
You wanted more from it.
It was just like generic and like Lifetime.
But here, and this is the thing, and I've said this. Your criticism, there's not one thing that you said that I don't disagree with. I just happened to
really liked it.
I just wanted that from the movie.
Right, and that's fine.
Yeah, I didn't need a deep.
Did you watch? Because we never talked about it. Maybe did you watch Roma?
Of course.
Did you like it?
Yes, but I understand why people would think it's boring, especially people that aren't Mexican.
Yeah, and don't know that culture or don't feel an affinity for it.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I didn't just love the way it's filmed. Like the cinematography, regardless of whether you don't like it or not, or it's not for you, it is a fantastically filmed movie. It is beautiful.
I would never argue that it wasn't beautifully shot.
Yeah, but the story,
I think, out of your skull.
Just so
yeah,
bored.
but and you know why? Number one, because you're not a girl.
What?
Like number two, no, but that's true. It is a female-driven story, right? And it is hard for a lot of, I know guys that like it, but they're Mexican. Like I'm not saying like white guys don't like it, right? But it is a female-driven story, and it's also an incredibly slow.
I don't.
But
I'm
he's
not a
not
white
white.
guy. Oh yeah, well I am.
But
thank you, Cody.
But it's also very slow moving, and the story is incredibly subtle, and it's all about the emotions, and it's not in your face dialogue of what's happening, right? So there's nuance to those stories, and it's not for most movie audiences.
Yeah.
It's just not. I love stuff like that, but it's not. I get why people don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get into some more of this stuff though too. So,
but it's better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
But I didn't get into Billy Eichner, by the way, very funny guy.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, before he blew up, we had serious conversations about him coming to do Schmoes reviews because we had found some of his videos way before. Like he may have had like 100 or 200 views on his videos, and I was like, this guy is hysterical. And there's just one, he just Billy on the street before there was the big show. He just did his videos, and he walks up to this. I don't know if he was Swedish or whoever this guy was in this beret, and he walks up to this guy and he goes, "Hello, sir. What do you think about whatever someone winning the Oscar?" And the guy goes, "Fuck this." And Billy goes, "Very nice, very nice. Thank you." And walks away. And it was so funny. His timing is so good. I would like to see what happens with his own movie. I would like to see how that's going to play out.
Have you seen the show Friends from College?
I watched the first episode, liked it a lot, and then, like we know, my wife Bill
didn't, because he's great in that show.
Yeah,
and he plays a straight man, but he's very funny. And then he was on the first or second episode of The Bachelor this season, and he was actually very funny on that too.
So what's going on? I mean, it's just a question. He's got something going. Did he have like surgery on his eye or something?
Who, Billy Eichner?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he had something wrong with it. Something happened to him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought
he's one of those guys where
probably wrong.
Yeah.
It's hard to like. Everybody's like,
probably scratched his eye one day or just whatever it was. Stupid.
My eyeball's all
right. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
Does it look wrong to you?
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting too because it's going to be a gay rom-com, and it hasn't been done before, and not really with two gay people in this situation. They're both afraid of commitment.
Who plays the other guy? Matt Damon.
They haven't cast it yet, but that was good. Behind the Candelabra, that was good. Anyway, they get together and they try to be in a relationship together. They're both averse. Nick Stoller's directing this, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is fantastic,
I love that
and
movie.
Apatow, of course, producing it. So all around, it sounds like a good idea. And he was really like overwhelmed by people's positive comments on Twitter.
I want to see, because if you look, it depends on how they approach it too, right? Because you look at a movie like, I thought Love, Simon is one of the best movies that was done in the last.
Such a good soundtrack.
Which one is Love, Simon?
It's a Greg Berlanti directed movie with.
The kid in high school who comes out of the closet and he gets outed by the kid.
Yes.
I like that movie.
Yeah,
It's a good movie. Anyway, okay, so that's all that particular news. But the big story, if you kind of tuned in for the headline of this show, the question is just, it popped up all over the place. A good friend of the show and friend of mine, Nick Mundy, had wrote me and sent me this Hollywood Reporter article about. Obviously, there are a lot of people who are excited about Disney getting all the Fox properties. We know that with X-Men, not Serena,
not old Sunbeam over here.
Sunbeam. Can we call you Sunbeam from now on?
No, I hate it.
Sunbeam it is.
All right. I like that Doreen and I have become mortal enemies over one thing. I enjoy the sun. She wants to scare the crap out of me.
You're Sunbeam and you're nuts.
This fall on Fox, Sunbeam and nuts.
Followed by joins by the white guy.
Our white neighbor from Bolivia is hysterical.
He learned Spanish. All right, here we go. Cody Hall. All right. But look, the thing that happened with obviously picking up X-Men and all, whether it's Alien, Predator, all the properties, there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of stuff that you could see on their streaming service. But John, there's the Hollywood Reporter article. Yeah. Tell me a little bit. What's inside of that article? What's it saying?
Well, just talking about what's going on there at Fox amongst the people who are working there, wondering about what's going to happen to their jobs, the severance packages that have been announced, and also this idea, and this is the thing that really interested me about the article, this idea that no studio has bought another studio at this level and has a blueprint for what to do going forward, what jobs save, what jobs not to save, and also they're also trying to compete in the streaming thing. And Iger recently didn't release too many details about Disney Plus, so they're still working it out themselves. So everybody who's working there is really unsettled about what their job's going to be. A lot of them are already applying to other jobs, taking interviews. I have a couple of friends who work there, and one of my friends is an executive over there and on the TV side, and he was telling me how the fear is permeating
it's like Armageddon
the walls.
over there, right? Yeah.
Basically, because people are starting to put things away and do whatever and plan ahead for this situation. But there's so much involved here because of how big the Fox studios are. Because also the TV channels can be moved into the stuff. There's so much that they've got to work out, and we probably won't know the full effects of this for 2 or 3 years at least.
Yeah, look, I'm on. To be honest, it's not going to be popular opinion. I'm on two minds with this thing. The first side of it is that on a business side, right? If Disney goes, they find the deal, they're successful, super successful, and have been even more successful over the last couple of years for a reason, right? They look at all the properties that they've been able to buy, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, whatever it is, and then now Fox, like you said, a studio. Like that's the kind of power they have. They can buy a studio.
Scary power.
Right. Now, the scary aspect of it is the other side that we'll get into, but the business side of it is if you can do it, and it's legal, and you can make it work, and it can further your business, and you're Bob Iger, and you can make it work, you go for it.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side of that is that it's kind of like Pretty Woman. Remember the Pretty Woman, where Richard Gere's job is to buy up all these companies.
Right.
He's just to buy them all up, and it doesn't matter about who's in the way and who's getting hurt, because it's about furthering your business. And he was a very successful businessman. Then he meets Julia Roberts, gets a herpes, but then gets a change of heart of gold, and goes on and then decides, I'm not going to buy that company. I'm going to work with that person. Now, is Bob Iger going to meet Julia Roberts? I don't think so. Right. So it looks like there's going to be some job loss, and that sucks.
Yeah.
And it's a monopoly.
Here's the thing too: is yes, there are probably people searching for jobs now, but once Disney, the dust is settled, and Disney takes those properties and starts expanding upon those properties, a lot of those
new jobs
will come back. A lot of new jobs created.
Well, yeah, but what kind of jobs? Because I think it's just in general a big unknown shift in the industry, right? Because like you mentioned, it's the like Roka mentioned, it's the first time they're actually buying a studio,
Right?
And that's different, right? Than what the purchases they've done.
And will there be a lot of new jobs, or will it be
Exactly,
like, or will
right?
it be like, hey, like so Drina, let's say Drina works. I buy this whole entire thing. Drina already works for me. You guys don't. You guys work for Fox. Okay. So I'm like, all right. You know what?
You're pronouncing her name wrong. It's Sunbeam.
Right. So you lose all your. So Nuts and Sunbeam lose their. But no. But Darina has a couple of projects already with me.
Right.
But now I'm like, you know what? I'm buying Fox. I'm gonna cut Josh and Roka. He's got all these projects.
F you, bro.
You're getting these projects now.
Yeah.
As opposed to, all right, bring in 2 new people to do it. They're now your projects. Yeah. So now you run a division. If you want people to, you can have a couple people work under you, but I'm not going to hire someone at an executive level even more so now that I have her and I know she can handle it.
Well, they're actually bringing, in this case, they're bringing, I think they're keeping Emma Watts, who is the VP of Fox.
Okay.
And she actually, I've liked what she's done. Like she oversaw Logan, which is like my favorite superhero movie other than Dark Knight.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
And so she did the Planet of the Apes, which was super surprising.
So she's got a good resume.
Really
hence
good trilogy.
Why she is still working.
Right. So maybe creatively they're keeping people that are smart and they're doing good things, right?
Right.
But I feel crappy for the people that are losing.
Yes,
You know, it's the little people. It's always the little people that end up losing when these things happen, and it just sucks.
That happens, and it does. It's terrible. You don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but it's also when big business moves like that. Like, you know, and Mundy again is a friend of mine, and he fights the fights, and to him, he doesn't worry about the creative side of it. He's not looking at the business side of it. He's thinking about the people who are losing their jobs, and that Disney doesn't have to do this. That's the way that he's thinking now. But on the other side of things, to where Disney is now thinking, yeah, we got to do this because we're going to grow even more so. Now, the thing we talked about yesterday was that they're going to start doing R-rated movies. We don't know on what side, what division. Going back off of your point, right? Like, so maybe they start this rated R division, and now they got to build more jobs. Maybe now they don't have the capacity to say, okay, well, that's not your strength. You don't work on those types of movies.
Because they
like
don't
Logan.
have departments that work on rated R.
Right, they don't do that yet. So
or they used to in the it was
Miramax.
in the 80s, and then Touchstone did Roger Rabbit and things like that.
All that stuff. But now, there's, like Makuga was saying, there's going to be more opportunities. There's going to be more jobs but that doesn't necessarily mean that those people from Fox are going to get them. That just means that opportunities will be available. So, yeah, it sucks. People are going to lose their jobs, and it's horrible. I see the argument for why maybe they think Disney shouldn't have done it, but then you got to look at it on the corporate side too, and it's a tough one.
This is the way capitalism is built.
Yes.
Man. I mean, you know, if the business can be bought, and it's not like Fox with this viable franchise, or they wouldn't be getting bought right now if they'd run the studio correctly and were making money. They wouldn't need to get bought. But you know, Marc Ellis talked about this yesterday in Movie Talk. Fox has been showing cracks for quite some time now. Yeah. They were for sale for a reason, and Disney sweeps in, takes this deal. It may end up working positively for these people, maybe coming back. But you hear things like this: they're going to keep Fox as, in essence, a label, but it'll only do 4 films a year, where they used to do 12 to 14 films a year. That's in the article. So that cuts a lot of jobs out. So they're going to keep Fox as you know, like as a label for them. So it'll be Disney presents a Fox movie. Right. But they're only going to release 4 to 5 Fox films, where they used to use 12 to 14 theatrical films.
That could change after year 1.
Yeah, possibly.
So are they keeping Fox Studios?
They're keeping Fox and Fox Searchlight. They're keeping them as a banner, but they're not
kind of like what
Miramax
when they own Miramax.
Yeah,
it's the same type of thing. So you know,
this is a really dumb question. Doesn't matter. But are we going to see 20th Century Fox before Lucasfilm?
That's been asked before. It's been asked. Probably not, because it doesn't fall in that division anymore. But yeah, that's been asked many times. That's what people want to see the fanfare.
Such a dumb thing, but it just be
no,
fun.
It's true. Yeah. It's just to have that again. But what else is anything else in that article that's in there?
Yeah,
because we have the question out there.
Yeah.
Is Disney trying to erase Fox? Right? And you know, in a certain aspect, it's not a matter of they're trying to just take out Fox, but like you said, John, it was it's on sale. Yeah. They said, hey, we think we have the means to further this brand. We know we can afford it, so we're going to buy it out. Now, erase them? No, I don't think they're trying to erase them, because, like you said, they're going to have them as a separate brand. But Fox also wanted to get out of the business of making movies, obviously, because they're just going to start. They're going to keep on with news, and they're going to keep on with sports.
Yeah,
that's where the bread and butter is.
Well, I mean, Fox TV. I don't even know what that channel will now be, or when it. But I don't think they'll change the name Fox from the TV channel.
Right.
And Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1, Fox News, that kind of situation.
That one
That's
goes away.
yeah.
I mean, not just that one, all of them.
That situation is unchanged for the most part. You know what I mean? Because Disney doesn't really want their hands in sports.
They would have ABC for that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's weird. I understand the loss of jobs, and I understand this whole thing, but there is something to be said about what Disney has been able to do with their properties, right? And they take the Fox brand that has, cracks, like you said. They're going to build on that thing.
Right.
A lot of those Fox properties that we want to see a better movie from or better things from.
Yeah, like Alien.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get the better people doing it, at least I think,
Well,
or some of the other people.
I don't know.
I don't know if
about-
that's fair.
It depends, because if you're talking creative,
Yeah.
I honestly, a lot of people, rightfully so, have complaints about Disney kind of making things a little bit safer. And a little bit more generic. So I'm curious as to what they're actually going to be.
And it's also about captains of ships too,
Yeah.
because
that's
you can have an amazing crew on one ship, but the captain's just steering it the wrong direction. Then you can have an amazing captain with some pretty good crew, and Fox could have the best crew that you've ever seen, but you would know because the head did okay, did okay, but it kind of steered them in a direction. Ultimately, they needed the big ship's help, and Bob Iger is a fantastic captain, and he has shown hardly any cracks whatsoever, and he's making all the moves. And this is just another big move and a huge thing on his resume. Star Wars, these live action films, the streaming service, buying Fox. I mean, he's got to be again, as far as body of resume and not as far as what you think ethically of the decision, but as far as you look at his resume as a businessman, he's got to be the best of all time. He's got to be the best executive of all time.
Well, if you got to look at the numbers, I mean, how many films that Disney puts out are in the top 10 money owners of the last few years? You've got to speak to that. And
that's just
Iger
the
does
movies.
that.
That's
just the
movies.
movies.
The streams, the park that he's going to be putting out, how much money that the Disney parks make.
Yeah.
Star Wars park
I just
is gonna
don't
be-
think they should be making that much money. Is all I'm saying.
I know. Well, but
It's
that's
too much.
dangerous.
It's
It's
too much
certainly
money
dangerous.
especially when you're firing people and
Right.
people are losing their jobs. Like, executives make a lot of money.
I agree with
too
you.
much money.
I agree, but
there's a big discrepancy there that I just don't.
But
agree with.
and you're right. But the thing is, though, what do you tell the businessman? You're doing. You know what?
Cut your paycheck and give it to the crew that works in your movies.
That's two different things, though. That's two different things as far as making the big deals, though, right? Like as far as taking out
I
your money
understand
and your
it.
salary,
Right.
but it's like when the businessman is saying, "Well, I've got all these deals. I have a potential to do all these other deals." Well, don't do that because it's not nice. That's just not how business works.
Right.
It's
I
like,
get it.
but when it comes to cutting salary and spreading the wealth, that's another conversation.
Yeah,
But-
they're looking at 4,000 layoffs.
That's
but
tough.
Rich Greenfield, who is a Disney skeptic, it's quoted in the article, is looking 5,000 to 10,000 layoffs over
It's
time
a lot
because
of jobs,
of the
man.
situation.
Damn, it's a lot of jobs.
But Makuga might be right, and you too. This idea that this sucks for now, but then eventually they'll have to put these things in motion.
Right. But doesn't
and
mean
need to
Fox
bring
doesn't
people
mean,
of
doesn't mean those
experience.
5,000 to 10,000 people are going to get those jobs.
It
though.
doesn't. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right about that. And I think Dorina makes a great point because we see this all the time with these companies that file for bankruptcy or go under.
Yeah.
Their executives still pay themselves out. We saw that recently a couple of years ago with that buyout that happened. A lot of these executives had these windfalls of bonuses that they shouldn't have gotten. Meanwhile, all these people are getting fired and get no severances or
It's
anything.
like Clark Griswold in
Jelly of the Month
Christmas
Club and
Vacation.
shit.
Right. Yeah, it's true. No, it sucks, man. So I see both sides. I mean, I really do, and I completely understand. Like, and I'll tell you right now, I'd be singing a different tune if I was one of those 5,000-10,000 people.
Right.
I don't think I'd ever see a Disney film ever again.
Right.
Which would be hard because now every movie is going to be a Disney movie.
That's right. I mean, that's the thing is that it's legal.
Yeah,
it's legal. They're not doing anything illegal. That's the thing.
It is a hungry hippos situation, unfortunately.
But not as fun.
No.
Well, to
That's a
Disney,
fun game.
it is.
It is fun.
Well, the thing when you're playing it is. So to
Right.
Disney, they're eating everything up, so they're having a blast.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm saying they have enough marbles.
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about the sports things. They have to sell the 22 sports regional networks off within 90 days of the purchase, of the final purchase.
Wow.
So who knows
Disney
where that's
has to-
going to go. Disney has to sell that's part of the deal. And I don't think they're touching Fox News.
Right.
I think Murdoch made real clear that Fox News was untouchable.
Yeah, right. Well, but isn't I mean, not that they would sell it anyway, but isn't he pretty hardcore Republican?
He
as
is.
well?
He's on Trump's business panel. Yeah, he's on part of that whole
So it's not. Yeah,
consoles.
it's not like a
it all
left.
connects.
Yeah, I saw some people screaming, "Oh, see, it's the left buying the right," and that's not because Iger's pretty right
Those are
wing.
ignorant people, and they should read things.
Yeah.
Guys. Also remember that a lot of rich people are on the right.
You don't know nothing, Jack.
Yeah.
All right.
You better listen, Jack.
Sorry. Okay, let's move on. So what I'd like to do is, for you guys out there watching right now, if you have a question for myself or Roku or Sunbeam or Nuts, just hashtag Collider Live and ask a couple questions. Roku will go through and ask those questions. Make sure you call in, but be prepared. You don't know what you're going to get on the phone call, so don't be touchy, my friends. It's Collider Live. Roku, anything going on in the Twitterverse? Anybody that had done anything so far with the hashtag Collider Live? What are they talking about in the Twitterverse?
Did you really wear that shirt today on purpose?
I did. I was going through my shirts and I saw your tweet and I said, "I'll wear that because I know she's on the show." Yeah.
Do you like the Death Star? Is that right?
No. I mean, I do, but somebody
to-
was asking about, because people get so crazy about Star Wars. It's like, what's the title? What's the title? What's the title? I was like, who cares? But apparently a lot of people. But somebody was like, what do you think the title is? I'm like, I think it's going to be Episode 9, the 4th Death Star.
Right.
So because I was just trolling.
I laughed about that. But you're happy not to do Jedi anymore, aren't you?
What?
You're happy not to do Jedi anymore.
No, you know what? I am happy to do any show with you guys because
Yes,
I love you
I
guys.
know you will.
But I do find it I don't know how you guys talk about it for a total hour for like every week. It seems exhausting.
It is, but it's
To
also.
find-
but it's
Oh,
also
try
finding the news for it.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just but it's been.
But
it's
people
only
like
slow,
it,
but
right? Like people.
It's
that's the thing.
it's
Like
only
people-
slow right now because
There's not a lot going on
in the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually, because of Ken, I do love talking about it still.
Right.
But I could tell like this is more your speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I talk about a lot of things. I don't. Just one topic
Right.
for an hour is exhausting.
Right.
There are two shows.
Unless it's Blade Runner.
There
I
are two
understand.
shows on this network that I will not be on, and there are a bunch of shows that I'm not allowed to be on.
Right.
But the Game of Thrones, I'll never be on again. And that's,
Why?
so a few years ago, I think it was 2 seasons ago,
my
I was
favorite
on the
story.
review show because I was the host of TV Talk, figured cross promotion, whatever. And there's something about the Tower of Joy. Listen, I didn't read the book, so I am just a fan of the show.
Yeah.
Right? And it said something, I was like, this sword fight by this castle, and the entire internet lost their effing mind. I don't read the comments. I don't read the comments on YouTube.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh, really?
whatever.
I love reading
Jesus
comments.
wasn't in the Old Testament.
Yeah, you idiot. Stupid dummy.
That's really what it is. That's what.
So the entire internet exploded on me, and
Right.
Christian came out to me real nice, and he goes, "Listen, I'm not telling you can't do the show, but
What did you
you'd
actually
like-
say though? That was so.
Was the
I
horrible.
just didn't know what the Tower of Joy was."
He just was talking about. He was reviewing it as if he just watched a show, but
Okay.
he didn't know. He didn't know his history on
And I
the
think-
books.
I think you
Okay.
said King Robert had dragons or something like that. It was
Whatever.
a whole thing. It was all like
whatever it was.
You
So
didn't
like-
know the
making
details
jokes.
to
Right.
something.
So I
yeah.
told him, and that's just not him. That's anybody
Yeah,
that talks
yeah.
about it. So
yeah.
and I said to him, I was just like, listen, maybe
It was like dad on the shoulder, like, son, you're not good at
I was
baseball
like,
anymore.
I was like, I'm not telling you
Baseball
you don't
isn't your
have
thing.
to do it. But if you think about it, maybe you don't want to do it. And then when he looked at me, he goes, all right. And he was done. And he was it. He was done. He was done with it.
No skin off my back.
There was no fight.
And the other
there's a
show
rope on
is Jedi Council because one, I don't know enough about Star Wars, and I know that the vitriol of Star
Yeah.
Wars fans was somebody that doesn't know a lot about
they'll get
Star
you.
Wars.
They'll get you.
They will come at me like Spider Man.
Oh, yeah.
No,
you
see,
get it.
I love Star Wars because as a kid I grew up with it.
Right.
I'm not as huge of a fan of the newer stuff as most people, so it's hard for me to get super excited.
I'm
right?
still very convinced.
Like once the movie comes out, I'll be there,
Right.
and I'll be super excited
'Cause you want that magic to come back.
Right.
Right.
But in the meantime, it's just like there's not a lot going on.
Yeah. I've still said. I really enjoyed Force Awakens. I like Last Jedi the more that I see it. Rogue One. I
love Rogue One.
That's my
A
favorite.
lot. And Han Solo is fine. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In the new era, there has
Yeah.
not been a great Star Wars movie.
There hasn't.
There's been a very good one. There have been a couple very
And by
good
new,
ones.
you mean since the 90s.
I mean, but you know,
Like anything that's not the original trilogy. There hasn't been a great Star Wars
there
movie
hasn't been
since
a
the
great-
original
There's
trilogy.
been a great one yet.
That's what I mean,
Like
yeah.
Empire's the last great one. I think
Yes,
Return of the Jedi.
agreed.
I think Return of the Jedi is very
It's-
good.
it's good.
I think it's very good.
But the last great one was Empire.
Yes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Will there ever be another great one? I don't know.
I hope.
Me too. But that's the beauty of the fact that's why I don't go with the vitriol, as you say, when people are saying, "Oh, they should just not do movies anymore. Disney ruined it."
Right.
there's enough that the fact that they're not going to do it every year like they said, but there's going to be enough material that there will be great Star Wars material again. There will be. Whether
I'm
it's
actually
The
excited
Mandalorian.
about the TV show.
Oh,
Very much so.
That's what I'm
psyched
excited
about.
about.
Mandalorian
Yeah.
is the thing I'm looking forward to the
Yeah,
most. But anyway, we'll be talking a lot more on Jedi Council today. But Roka, what are they talking about in the Twitter sphere?
A lot of
Hashtag
people
Live.
want to know what's going to happen with what's going to happen with the Star Wars movies. Are we going to get the original cuts now with this merger? Are we going to get the whole thing about New Hope, the logo thing at the beginning? Is that going to be erased now? What's going to happen with the original? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. It's a way again. It's money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is their job as a studio and their job as a business to say, hey, we have this product that we would like to sell to you. Do you want to buy it? Yeah. And it's us to say yes or no. Like no one's forcing.
Do you want to buy it?
Yeah, no one's forcing you to. It's like, is it? Sometimes they milk things. Every studio do they milk things by doing the Blu-ray one? They do the
collector stuff.
This is the regular one, and then they do the collector one like 5 months later. And is that a bleed on the fans? It is. But I have to choose whether or not I want to buy it or not. Right. So they probably, if they have the rights to do it, I don't see why they wouldn't. The only thing is if there's some kind of deal with George Lucas to where George is like, oh, I don't care. The main thing is if you ever get it back, just don't release those. That's the.
You really wanted to do the George Lucas.
Very much so.
good.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? I'm sure you have the Bobby Moynihan as George Lucas.
Yes. That's great.
When he's in the background, just like.
Yeah. I need to bring him on the show.
Yeah.
I like Bob. Bobby's a good dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's Cody, got anybody on the phone?
Yep.
Cool. All right, hey, you're in Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Marc, actually, here in Burbank, California.
What's up?
Hi,
How
Marc.
you doing, brother? What's
Close
going
by.
on? What do you got for us today?
Watch out for those Hitler waitresses.
So, just a quick thing I want to say. I'm definitely going to miss seeing Marc host Movie Talk. I think a lot of people definitely feel that way. He's been great every single day. I'm sure you guys have already figured it out behind the scenes, how you're going to do the show going forward. But I would like to say I love watching Movie Review Talk. So if you got Scott Movie freaking Mance to host Movie Talk Monday through Wednesday, that'd be fantastic.
There you go.
We have to buy new microphones.
I know, that's right. It's true.
Listen, today, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Yes, you.
You could just call it Collider La La Land.
La La Land, yeah, sure.
Story number one.
Look, Mance is going to be around doing some stuff. They're still doing FYC. We don't. Look, there's a lot of announcements that will come out for Movie Talk very soon. But I think you guys will like what they're doing with it. I
agree.
So, all right, thanks for the call, my man. Appreciate it.
Mark.
All right. So, anything else going on in the Twitterverse?
Not really.
Nothing.
Just Mark Andrew Hawk. They want to know when he's coming back on Shmoda. A lot of people asking about that.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, look, we got a lot. The season, really, outside of the live event, starts for the public today because Critically Acclaimed and the Harris Brothers. That went up for patrons on Monday and Tuesday. If you're a $2 patron, you got it on Monday. If you're a $1 patron, you got it on Tuesday. But it's open to the public on the Schmodown channel today. Yeah. It's a #1 contender match. Tomorrow is Mark Riley versus Drew McWeeny, which is a big match. Now, as far as who else is coming into the league, who's coming back, we have so much season ahead of us. You know, it's February, and now we're doing our live events. We're hopefully be able to announce the free for all. I'm looking, like I said, March 23rd, 2 p.m. on a Saturday. That looks like that's going to happen. I'm just waiting to sell the tickets. Chicago is pretty much a locked, done deal. April 13th. Tickets just aren't on sale yet. They will be. So there will be opportunity for a lot of people to come back, and maybe Mark will find himself in the free for all, and maybe he wins the thing, and then we see a lot more of them. So there's opportunity for everybody.
How much, how many tournaments or matches are you growing this year, like compared to the previous year?
I mean,
do you know approximately?
Well, the only thing that we add on this season is more exhibition matches that are exclusive to patrons. So but there's the normal schedule where you'll get a Thursday and a Friday match. Teams or Intergeekdom on Thursday. Friday is singles.
It seems like it's so many. Like
there's a lot. Yeah, it's a big. I mean, it's a full season.
There's an exhibition match in the works that is gonna be lit.
It's good.
And we can't know about it.
Yeah, well, there's one, but then there's also Van Damme versus his mind in a single.
Oh, I would so watch that.
I think
some cookies.
And we can all eat milk and cookies.
What else does he want?
You wouldn't even get a
A
question.
glass of milk.
A glass of milk. Okay.
I said, yeah.
All right, he said yes.
The other thing here is
yeah.
the Disney Fox stuff.
What do
The
they say?
fans are
Split?
pretty split. Yeah, it's pretty
what are they
half and
saying?
half.
But is it split creatively though? Like, do they care? They're talking more about what's going to happen with the
Well,
movie.
let's
right?
see.
So Alexander Robinson says, I'm indifferent about it. I mean, yeah, for the opportunity to see the X-Men and Fantastic Four join the MCU, but I feel sorry for everyone who's losing their jobs. Darren Warts, no thoughts one way or the other. Not too familiar with what their buyout means for the entertainment industry as a whole. Someone, Gobal Pandaya is like, it will kill cinema. R.I.P. X-Men, Aliens, and indie films. Technotron says maybe we can finally get a good Fantastic Four movie. Other people are mad we're talking about it because they're like, this is 98% done. What's the deal with talking about it? But we want to talk about it more about like the effects on the people, right? Which Monday has been Monday's been banging that drum since the beginning, and so credit to him for that.
I'm not telling you. Hey guys, you think the deal's gonna happen?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. We're not doing that.
Said Willem Dafoe. Yeah. All
I've
right.
got his cans.
People were asking about how about it's their original properties. How about their original properties?
Like what?
No problem with a company gaining back material they created in the first place. Not all of Fox, of course, but the Marvel properties. People are taking on what they're going to do with those old back properties now. Is everybody just stay
Like Blade or that kind of stuff?
Right, right. That kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, look, they just have more. They have more to deal with. And the only Sony's really the only one now that's got that has anything on Marvel now. You know, they still own Spider-Man. You know, there's a deal.
And they made one of the best Marvel movies recently with Spider-Verse.
They did.
True.
So there's that.
I thought you were going to say Venom. But that movie made a lot of money. Venom.
It did.
Made a lot of money. So Sony's doing okay right now. Sony's
And Warner Brothers is doing pretty good with Aquaman.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the DC, on the DC side, but as far as like having a Marvel property, you know, like Sony right now, because Sony was in the shits.
Yep.
Sony was doing, you know, they just had those horrible. The first Amazing Spider-Man I liked. Yeah. You didn't like the first one, Cody?
No, I did not.
Well, all right. Well, you don't have to be a dick about it. But the second one was terrible, and that almost sunk the entire franchise. They made a deal with Marvel, hence now we get the Tom Holland movies. Yeah. But because of that, and because of the money that Homecoming made, they used their resources smart. Put money into a movie I didn't love in Venom, but it worked. Yep. It made money, and they put the money into Spider-Verse. It worked. It made money, and it's going to win the fucking Oscar. So they're doing good right now.
Do you think it's going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I've been hearing that from a lot of people, but it's Disney. And I don't take anything for granted when Disney's involved with the politics and the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I mean,
yes,
the
all of
Oscars
us
usually
creatively.
suck.
What do you think is going to win, Wreck-It Ralph?
No, Incredibles 2. I think there's going to be a strong push amongst the older voters who may not see Spider-Verse and may not get into Spider-Verse. I know all of us who are of an age to enjoy it and technically love it. Of course, it's hands down the best film, maybe even best film of the year for some people. But when you're dealing with that body, that voting body, are they going to go Spider-Verse or are they going to go Incredibles 2?
I see your point. The only thing, though, is that what I do notice about like these academies, all of them, they're paying attention to who's winning all the way around the board. So if Spider-Verse, like if you get somebody who was voting, Spider-Verse, what the hell is this? It won? It won
They'll
there.
just vote.
It won there.
They'll just vote again.
But then they'll look and they'll watch and they'll watch it now, and they'll go, and maybe.
Sometimes they just vote though.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Oh, this one won the Golden Glove. Okay,
I'll do this. I don't care about this. I'm going to vote for this,
Yep.
right? And which is possible, but I don't think that's going to happen with Spider-Verse. I don't. I think it's too unique, and I think that it's going to win. I loved Incredibles.
Yeah,
2.
Incredibles.
I loved it.
I think I got the same amount of enjoyment from both movies.
Yeah, you didn't love Spider-Verse as much as everybody else.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought that there were some very funny, heartwarming moments.
What are you, nuts?
Was it a little overhyped too?
You nailed it. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed Incredibles 2. I don't think that if I was an Academy voter, I don't think there's a clear-cut winner there. I think that they're better than Wreck-It Ralph. I know
Was that not nominated? The second Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Second one
Ralph
was.
breaks the internet.
I actually really liked that.
I did too.
Yeah, I did too. I just like Spider-Verse and
Incredibles
2 better. But of the ones that are nominated, my favorite movie is Isle of Dogs.
Oh, really?
I loved Isle of Dogs.
It was and a lot of people bashed it. I loved Isle of Dogs
it was
as
the
well.
sweetest effing movie.
Good soundtrack too.
I gotta watch it. I have it at home. All right, do you got any more phone calls there, Code?
Yeah, we do.
Hey, you are in Collider Live. Who do we got?
It's Clay Williams from Portland.
Hello, Clay Williams from Portland.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello, Clay.
Clay, the way that you said that, I feel like you are sitting by a lake and you have a white suit on and you're holding up a glass of champagne.
I do declare, it's Clay Williams from Portland.
What's up, my man? What do you got?
Oh man, I've been trying to call in for ages now, and I'm
Okay, good talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for calling. Clay Williams.
What's up, man? What do you got for us?
So as Roka knows, I'm a diehard Top 10 fan, and I've been wanting, and I've been also a diehard Collider Live fan. I've been loving everything you guys have been doing. It's been fucking awesome. I would personally love if you got Matt Nost on Collider Live, or something that I think would be a little more interesting, a one-on-one with Christian Harloff.
With
I
Nost?
think Matt Nost has amazing story.
If you like him so much, why don't you marry him, Clay?
I do. Listen, as far as having him on Collider Live, I'd love to. Matt Nost and I have known each other a very long time, probably going on 13 years now, and we have a very funny relationship. It's a good banter between the two of us anytime we're on the air or even when we're not on the air. As far as one-on-one goes, at the moment, because people have been asking me, so I might as well say it. It's on a little bit of a hiatus right now. I don't know when it's coming back, but it's still in talks. But as far as having him on live, absolutely. Now that we're 5 days a week, I want to get a lot more guests on. We just wanted to get our feet grounded, and for this first 5 days to say, okay, well, how the hell does this work? Because tomorrow's only an hour long, but I think that having Matt Nost on is something I'd be very interested in doing. Like Jared Haibman last night hit me up. He's been listening to the show a lot, and that's one of the other things, too. And I've told people have come in from this office and be like, hey, when am I going to go on live? I go, you got to realize people want to keep asking me to be on. And it's like, just ask, and I'll put you on. Like,
and this room is only so big.
It is. But now that we have 5 days now we have more opportunity because
100%.
because I didn't even think Jared Haibman's one of my favorite people in the world, and when he wrote me last night, he's like, he didn't ask to come on. He just said, I've been loving Collider Live. I said, when are you coming back on? He said, you tell me when. So I talked to Riley, and Riley's going to put him on the show probably next week.
I've never really worked consistently with Matt Nost until Sports Time.
And
the three of us have a really good time on that show. So,
and Jared always loves coming on Sports Time. But Jared is quietly one of the best dudes affiliated with Collider because he is willing to do anything. He doesn't go like, you got to pay me. I'm my brand, you got to pay me. He's like, I will come and do whatever you want. I love being on the show. And so I respect that Jared is willing to do that because Jared doesn't have to.
No,
he does not have to. And I love it.
You know, Jared, the thing is with him,
he's a friggin' Patriots fan.
Yeah, that's
Nobody's perfect.
That's the one thing that sucks about him. But but he's not. Besides being a really good dude, he knows his shit. He is passionate about it. The thing is, he was hosting this Bachelor thing that my wife was watching, right? From I think it was like the premiere.
Yeah, I think they were in Midwest, Lansing, Michigan, I think.
Wherever it was, and they had a whole bunch. And there were some of these people, like the Bachelor people, like get the mic out of their hands. It's like they cut to this poor guy, and he's just like, he didn't know what he was doing. He had no. The timing was bad. It was awful. But then you cut to Jared. And he's just,
it's funny because it's true.
You know which guy I'm talking about? Like, they're in the living room, and the one guy's just like, hey, Chris, and we got somebody here, and and he doesn't let the other guy speak, and they cut back, and he's about to say something, they cut him off, and then they go back to the guy, and he's like,
I like turtles,
more or less. But Jared just nailed it, and was just on fire, and so much so that Chris Harrison looked over and was like, who knew that Jared could host? And watch Collider, bitch. It's like that's
Did you tweet that to Chris Harrison?
I should have.
The classic.
Chris Harrison knows his movies. He could talk too.
The classic Chad line from Bachelor in Paradise. Fuck you, Chris Harrison.
Right. Anyway, so Jared will be back on, and I'd love to have Matt Nost on. So, okay, we went off the rails here. So let's do it. Let's do another tweet.
You didn't even say goodbye to Clay.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, Clay.
Oh, is he still on the air?
Yeah, I totally hung up.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Clay. Have fun in Portland.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's the great Gatsby over there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more tweet, and then we'll do one more call.
What are your thoughts on the Black Widow film? It's rumored to be released between Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 2. Do you think the film will suffer from character fatigue? I personally couldn't care less about the film. Not trying to be sexist. Will it flop? I love when people say that. Not trying to be sexist. Couldn't care about the film. Just say you don't care about the film.
I mean, it has nothing to do with.
No.
My problem with that whole character.
Black Widow.
It was Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow.
Rated R.
I love Scarlett Johansson. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Okay.
Except go
Aloha.
Asian character.
Oh no, Asian character.
Again, I had so.
It's not her fault.
Yeah,
it's the studio's fault.
Aloha's
she
Emma
was in a
Stone.
shell. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, what do you want from me?
It was a ghost.
You have all these superheroes, and she just has a gun. Like,
I mean, but Batman. Batman doesn't have superpowers.
Well, Batman also had like super arm. I don't know. But
It's not the powers. It's just she's not written well for the movies.
Correct.
She's like two-dimensional.
The Avengers trailer, the Endgame trailer, everybody else is like doing their and she's just shooting at a target. I'm like, Thanos is going to stop bullets.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
the gun's not going to solve the end game.
Well, but but I think that's why it works better in a standalone movie. I don't think it'll bomb.
It's
I
a
think
spy
it'll do
movie.
If Lucy did well, Black Widow will do well.
Yes.
And Red Sparrow did not do well.
Right.
So it came and went like a fart in a car with an open window.
But Red Sparrow wasn't that good. I thought that Lucy was...
I liked Red Sparrow.
Lucy was
good. Yeah. I didn't like to see it opposite. I hated Lucy.
Really?
I thought Lucy
So
I like Lucy.
The soundtrack is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the soundtrack's good. I do want to pull a clip of every time we talk about a movie now. Is Kalinowski like at the live event?
Jesus.
It stinks. Like that's how I feel about Lucy.
The best one of if we're talking about female-led badass kind of action hero things for me in the past couple of years is Peppermint. I
liked Peppermint.
Peppermint's good.
I liked it.
Loved
Surprisingly
it.
good.
It reminds. See, that's the difference of
It
where
has 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is
No.
bonkers.
It's bullshit.
I just hope. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, finish.
I just hope it gets to the point where we don't have to even say like female-driven movies. You know,
right.
like it's like it should just be like a movie that Wonder Woman's in.
We need
You know,
Pepperwick.
like-
Right.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
Pepperwick.
Yeah, we need more movies with
Let's-
them, but I
Or
just
Wick
don't want to say.
Pepper.
I want to get one more call and then we'll call it a day. Cody, you got somebody? Yeah. All right. Good. Hey, you're in Collider Live. Who do we got?
Do you want the cookie?
Yes. I said yes.
Do you want some nuke?
I said yes. Who do we got? Is this Sean Claude?
Hey, this is Parker from Woodbridge, Virginia. Shout out to Roca.
Yo,
What's up, brother?
that's
How
my
you doing, man?
hometown, dog.
Is it really?
What's
No
up,
way.
Parker?
Nice.
That's where I grew up.
Oh, cool. We figured I would have listened to you on 101.
Yeah. I
right.
didn't know they got radio finally.
Parker, did people think he was white back in Woodbridge?
Nice. What's up, Parker? What do you got for us today? Take us out.
Before I ask my question, I have to make an apology to you, Christian. I bought tickets to the Schmodown Live in New York, and I'm handicapped, so it was just an issue of planning, and I just couldn't make things work. It just some things didn't fall through the cracks. So next time you're coming to New York, I'm seeing you, and then
No
I'm going to cheer your ass
apologies,
out
man.
over some movie opinion.
No reason to apologize, my man. We will be back, and we hope to have you there. No apologies needed. What's up? What's going on?
So she's only been on a few episodes, but my goal in life is now to be Dorina's best friend.
I'll be your best friend.
Yeah.
I can get rid of my other best friend.
All you have to do
Social
is
best
hate
friend.
the sun.
But that, yeah.
and want to scare Josh McCouga.
That
That's
doesn't
it.
bode well for you, though. She just, you hear what she said? She said, she's like, I'll get rid of my other friends and be friends until the next person comes along.
I
who
said
wants to
my
be friends.
best friend. I don't have a best friend. I just have a lot of friends.
You have a best friend.
You don't have a best friend?
Ish.
I know who your
Shade.
best friend is.
Who's my best friend?
The shade.
I mean, he's one of my best friends.
Darkness is her best
Right,
friend.
that's true.
No
Wednesday.
parents.
Yeah. So yes. So that's it. You just wanted to be friends with Dorina.
No, I'm going to simultaneously become friends with Dorina and make McCouga hate me because Roma is the best movie of 2018.
There you go. Yes.
All right, well, there you go.
Totally new best friend.
All right, and with that, we're gonna fire off hot. Guys, what a fun episode it was. Thank you for joining us on Collider Live. Dorina, thank you for joining us. We'll
Thank
see
you for having me.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yes.
John Roca, reading
Thank
the
you.
news like a pro. I like
Doing
it,
the
man.
best I can.
Back tomorrow. Cody Hall doing whatever he does in there, and Josh McCouga being the Joshiest of McCougas. We'll see you tomorrow. Collider Live.